Ladies and gentlemen, football is back at Lefevre Stadium. Your 2021 Placer Hillman football. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Placer High School, welcome to Lefevre Stadium for tonight's home opener between the visiting Miners of Nevada Union High School and your Placer Hillman. Captains for tonight's game for Nevada Union, number 73, Ezra Tout, and number 4 for Placer, Martin Haswell.
I think for both of us in our observations will be whether or not
Placer has won the toss but deferred, and they will kick off to start your ball game.
As is tradition with Coach Montoya's bunch.
The Miners are coached by head coach Brad Sparks. Placer High School is coached by assistants Eric Rodardi, Race Lucas, Coleman Waka, Dean Petromonaco, Trey Kelly, Eric Egan, Chris Ferreira, Dennis Murphy, and your head coach, Joey Montoya.
Welcome in, Casey Freelove and Dave Rosenthal with you here from Lefevre Stadium for the Placer Hillman home opener against the Nevada Union Miners on Friday Night Football in the foothills. Great to be back home on the hill. Dave, I'm so happy to be sitting here at Lefevre, inside, outside, rain, sunshine. We are here for high school football on the voice of the foothills.
Yeah, and also like to welcome our fans on Facebook Live tonight, getting to see pictures and our audio call. So a simulcast all over the world on KAHI.com, 104.5 FM, 950 AM, and Facebook and Live tonight. Thank you again for joining us here. And we've got the band in here, so why don't we go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout and bring it back here to Lefevre.
Alex Prieto will tee it up for the Hillman. Number 10, the lone receiver back there, Drake Schlachter, who had 52 yards receiving last week. He can move a little, and the Hillman will end up bouncing it to the up back. It's fielded there at the 25, cutting back towards the center of the field with not much room are the Miners. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Nevada Union Miners, moving from left to right. They will take over at their own 28-yard line, I should say. Let's make sure the referees put it where we think they are, Dave. They seem to move it on us week in and week out, and as I say that, it looks like they have actually placed it there.
So they put it at the 28 to get going here on a rainy, almost spring night at Lefevre.
Now, Ezra Tout, who was one of the starters for Nevada Union, was out there at Civvies, and he's not going to be able to go as Nevada Union pulls it down there on first down, little 2-yard shimmy to the near side by quarterback Gabe Baker. So 2 yards there. Tackle by Cardelli, Noah Cardelli that is, one of the senior leaders of this team. 2nd down and 8 upcoming. And they'll end up giving him 3, 2nd and 7. Back in the pistol with a back off his right hip, single receiver to the near side, 2 up top. It's going to be a toss out there for Baker. Catch is made, and finding a little room around the edge out to the 40, midfield, to the Hillman 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown for Nevada Union. Drake Schlachter takes it from his own 31-yard line, 69 yards into the end zone to put the Miners on the board. 6-0 with the lead there. Dave, they only had a single receiver up top there, but he really kind of maneuvered his way to the sideline and found a burst of speed.
Well, one-on-one coverage on the outside, and all he had to do was get the edge. No pressure whatsoever on the quick out pass, and I was about to think that we're going to see a lot of running from Gabe Baker, but instead he throws the out, up the sideline they go, and Nevada Union breaks on top first here.
And it looks like they may be going for 2 here, the way that they're lined up. Gabe Baker's a big boy. Looks like he's about 6 foot. I'd give him 205, maybe the quarterback there. They are going to line up for 2 in the pistol. It's going to be a direct snap to Schlachter, who tosses it back to Baker, and Baker is just shy of the line to make. So 6-0 our score. Nevada Union scoring on their opening drive here. We'll take a quick break and be back in 30 seconds. It's Friday Night Football in the foothills.
11-14 in your first quarter. Your score, Placer 0, Nevada Union 6.
This is your home for Friday Night Football in the foothills, 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
Well, that drive took all of 2 plays to go 72 yards. The drive started with 11:53 on the clock. There's 11:14. You do the math.
Back deep for the Hillman, Lavelle Davis along with Gage Parada. It looks like Xavier Guerra, who led the team in most statistical categories last week, is out for the night. He did tweak his knee in the second half against the Zebras. That's something to keep an eye on. We'll set the Hillman offense once they get back out there on the field. But if you're a Miner fan, you got to be thrilled with that start, as trotting out onto the field is number 7, their kicker, Tyler Holtrup. And as I mentioned, Davis and Parada back deep, waiting the ball right inside the 15-yard line. And it's going to be an end-over-end kick short, fielded by Davis at his 20-yard line out to the 30, 35, pushing his way forward, and good starting field position for the Hillman out to the 40-yard line where Placer will take over. 1st and 10 with 11:08 left here in the first quarter. Placer moving from right to left out there in green pants and green jerseys with green numbers outlined in gold. The green and gold helmets with the Placer P on the side, as we've become so accustomed to. For the Miners, they've got golden stripes down the side of their blue pants, white jerseys, blue numbers outlined in gold, blue and gold helmets. Martin Haswell and company ready to go. It's going to be a handoff to Parada. He's got a nice block out there after the 45 and pushes past midfield. He fumbles the ball out of bounds, but not before he was able to get first down run there for number 27, taking it into Nevada Union territory, Dave.
So nice run on the first play, another sweep, one of the many plays that they run the triple option out of that wing T4.
So that's going to end up being an 8-yard gain. They said he stepped out of bounds or lost the ball out of bounds at the Hillman 48, second down upcoming. Although our linesmen would say differently. Always fun here in the early season with officials that haven't done much and game linesmen as well. Now here's going to be a handoff going to the far side for the Hillman and breaking into daylight at the 40 and all the way inside the 30 goes number 22, Dylan Logelin. Tried and true for the Hillman there. That's going to be a big 22-yard gain, Dave, and bring up a first down for Placer. Dylan last week, 13 carries, 39 yards, also 2 catches and 15 yards as a receiver.
Well, pretty interesting enough that 2 plays in, Martin Haswell yet to throw a pass. The man threw for 344 yards, school record a week ago, that loss to Lincoln, and we haven't seen him put it up yet, maybe because of the inclement weather.
Haswell under center. Prieto is the receiver. Looks like a little miscommunication there. Ends up pitching it to Davis, and Davis is going to take a loss on that play of 2 yards back to the 31-yard line.
Yeah.
So a little miscommunication there, part.
Yeah, broken play. Martin turned around and looked for the pitch in one direction and found Davis standing directly behind him where he wasn't supposed to be. And then it was a little one of those, when you meet somebody in the hallway and you dance one way and the other, that's kind of what happened in the backfield. Which way are you going to go? I'm not sure. Here, take the ball.
Second down and 12 upcoming for the Hillman. We'll set the offensive line here in just a moment. Haswell ready to go. Split backs behind. It's going to be a handoff to Davis going over right guard. 4 different Miners there to corral him after a 2-yard pickup. And it is going to be third down and long. The Hillman back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Devin Sunday looked like the linebacker that came across from his spot on the near side of the field to drop him.
Third down and 10.
So third down and 10 for the Hillman, looking to match the Miners on their first drive. It's 6-0 Nevada Union. Clock under 10 minutes left here in the first quarter of play. And as I mentioned, the skies are starting to clear here over Auburn. Quite a rainstorm during the junior varsity game. A game won by the Hillman 52-zip. All right, here's a 3-step drop for Haswell. Throws it to the near side. Prieto has the ball with room. First down and more inside the 20. Still driving inside the 15 and down to the 14-yard line. A 15-yard gain there for number 7 and a nice pass. Just kind of a dink, dunk, boom. 15 yards later, first down, Hillman Dave.
Well, you got to love Alex Prieto. The man, he got open all weekend last week and gets open and makes it happen after the catch here to pick up that 16 I think they actually credited him with. And the Hillman with a fresh set of downs can get another fresh set if they don't push it through.
First down for the Hillman. Ball at the 15-yard line of the Miners on the near hash. Placer moving from right to left. It's going to be a pitch to the far side to Logelin, looking to set up a block. Does it himself instead and takes it inside the 10. Good hard run there by Dylan. Put his shoulder down and took it to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, we got a holding on the play, though. Play clean in late. When where it comes from in that backfield, you know it's going to be a hold, and that's exactly what it was. So take away the run for Logelin and march the Hillman backwards.
Well, we've had a couple of first downs already on this drive, and our first downs are brought to you by Depot Bay Coffee Roasters, 893 High Street in Auburn. Online ordering available for you, DEPOE, baycoffee.com, one of our great Hillman sponsors here on KAHI.
And so 10 yards forward, 12 yards back, 8 yards forward, 6 yards back. This time they go 10 yards back, and that ball's going to go all the way back to the 25. It'll be first and 20.
And a little wind blowing here, which really I'd rather have rain than wind because we've got sheets out. We're outside, folks. You know we're usually in the press box, but with COVID protocol keeping things safe, we are just happy to be out here calling high school football during this abbreviated 5-game spring trek. Haswell under center, ball on the far hash, handed off to Davis and blown up pretty quickly there. Nice tackle there by number 24 for Nevada Union. That's James Kinney, the defensive back, coming up. And I believe he may have lost a yard there, Park.
Yeah, I think they gave him an inch forward, maybe a yard. I'm going to credit him with the yard.
We'll give him one, and we've got an early timeout here. We'll take it with him. Our score, Nevada Union 6, Placer Zip, 8:36 left in the first quarter here on KAHI. So after a penalty and then just a minor 1-yard gain, Placer has it 2nd down and 19 at the Nevada Union 29-yard line. Let's set the offensive line. Ben Trickett, your left tackle, left guard Aiden Dunham, number 56, center Alex Rosales, 58, and then the Esty brothers, right guard 77 Xander, right tackle 66 Chase, our tight end Isaiah Chenault. We'll also see Cole Santiago. We've talked a little bit about the running backs. Martin Haswell, your Hillman quarterback. There are split backs behind Martin. He'll fake it. Now he's going to take about a 7-step drop. Guns it out there. Low pass hit the turf, or there would have been some business there. It fell incomplete, so 3rd down upcoming for the Hillmen.
Well, and I noticed Andy Hall checked into the game late and was in there at one of the wings or maybe even at tight end for that play.
Yeah, Luca Collins was looking to get his first catch and really play of the year, number 28 for the Hillmen. We didn't have him on our depth chart, but he is in there tonight. And expect all available hands, because without Guerra, who really dominated the offensive side of the ball for Placer last week, you're going to have to lean on all of your horses. That's for sure.
And Prieto checks back in as Martin Haswell checks into the huddle. And as usual for the Hillmen, the wide receiver heads to the top of the field, stands out there on his lonesome.
So Logal and Parada were your starters tonight there in the backfield. And as I mentioned, Lavelle Davis as well, as it is a wing T for those of you familiar with Placer football. Split backs behind. Here's Haswell with a fake, and now he's going to have to run for it. He gets touched by a Nevada Union defender, but he's able to shake it off. Still looking, running backwards now, never a good thing at the 35. Almost fumbled the ball, and he's going to be dragged down way back at the Hillman 35-yard line. That's going to be a big-time loss and bring up 4th down. And Dave, they may have to punt in this situation. It's 4th and forever.
Yeah, 11-yard loss on that play. I half expected him when he was rolling to his right to just throw the ball out of bounds and save the down and make it at least manageable coming up on a 4th down. But they've got to be in 4th and go territory here. You're not going to punt the ball from the 35-yard line way too far out to even attempt a field goal.
Yeah, Haswell over there talking with Coach Montoya to get the play. As far as Nevada Union up front, Nathaniel Ward, Chris McFall, Justin Lopez as well. I mentioned number 73, Ezra Tout, out for tonight. Also, we'll be hearing from big number 77, one of our all-namers for league, Timber Wilkins.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
All right, 4th and 30 for the Hillmen from the 35-yard line. Ball on the far hash. Haswell under center.
And they are going to punt.
They are going to punt it. Martin will stroll back to his 42-yard line, get a little poocher off there. Nevada Union had no one set. And with the bounce, it will go inside the 20-yard line. That worked out up pretty well, Dave.
Yeah, it actually did. I think that's inside the 15, actually. So Martin Haswell, it drops back John Elway style and just lobs a little punt down the field and pins the Miners deep. So that drive went for naught. It started out really well. They held on to the ball from the 11:08 mark down to 7:20, but came away with nothing.
And the ball will be placed down at the 13-yard line where Nevada Union will have it with 7:20 left in the first quarter, trying to build on their 6-0 lead. They'll take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 6-zip Miners here on KAHI, back in 30. Welcome back. Quick shout out to our great sponsors, including Auburn Ford, Keith Thomas State Farm Insurance, Mackey Electric Heating and Air, and Mel's Diner. We also encourage you to head over to KAHI.com where you'll find the Roseville Auto Mall. Just move over to KAHI Sports. It's the first link there. All the area scores that matter available to you.
Well, let's see if Nevada Union goes back to that ground game. I was about to say off that first drive that it's going to probably be a whole lot of Gabe Baker, and he's going to be running the ball from that position back behind him. And instead they go to the ground game.
Yeah, it's going to be Cormack with the ball. Nice spin move out to the 25-30, driving towards the boundary and takes it all the way up near the 35-yard line. They'll mark him out at the 35. That's going to be a gain there of 22 yards and a 1st down for the Miners. Nice run there by number 28, who we had originally as 35, but we do know that he is Mr. Cormack.
Yeah, Cameron Cormack with the run. So they got the 1-2 punch. Baker, a big boy back there in the backfield at quarterback. Cameron Cormack, he can run the ball as well.
1st and 10 back in the pistol. Ready to go are the Miners. Throw it to the far side. Way too much on that pass off the arm of Schlachter. And they're going to rotate basically, Dave. We've seen Gabe Baker with the start, number 15, and number 10, Drake Schlachter, who's also listed as a wide receiver and running back. I guess we'll call him a util.
He's got to be. He's got that 69-yard touchdown pass, and now he's 0 for 1 in the air.
Second down and 10. Clock at 6:56. Nevada Union leading the game 6-0 here at the home opener on the Hill for Placer football. Looking to bounce back after a loss to Lincoln last week. Nevada Union beat Bear River in Lake of the Pines. That's going to be a handoff going straight ahead and out to the 38-yard line.
That was Gabe Baker.
Actually kept it down, pulled it down himself, didn't he?
No, he didn't. They actually had Schlachter in there at quarterback, and they ran the dive to Baker.
You got to love it. I mean, they're literally rotating quarterbacks every single play. This is going to be a lot of fun tonight as we welcome in our superstar engineering staff, Brad Smith and Lila with us here. Good to see you two here on the Hill. Here's a snap on 3rd down and 7. They're going to try and run it straight ahead. Nothing doing there. Entire Hillman defense there to meet the runner. Cormack, he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Cardelli in on the tackle, along with a whole bunch of other Hillmen. That'll bring up a 4th down, and I got to figure they're going to punt here.
Yeah, they're going to kick it away. They're way too far in their own territory to do anything else. But interesting plays that time. So they had Gabe Baker in at quarterback. They brought the Drake Schlachter into quarterback. So they're going to do a few things differently tonight just to try to get some offense generated. Just 20 points on the board against an understaffed Bear River team a week ago.
Lavelle Davis back deep. He'll put an arm up in the air and signal for fair catch, which he will make at the Hillman 33-yard line. So Placer will take over with 5:50 left here in the first quarter of play, trailing 6-0. And again, these teams still getting a feel for each other. As I mentioned last week, Nevada Union picked up a nice win against Bear River. The sheer numbers of players we've come to expect from these opponents have been down a little bit. And you might expect that considering there's 3 sports that they have to choose from playing at this point, Dave.
Yeah, and so the numbers aren't what you would expect. The rosters aren't as big where you could wear kids and other teams down through attrition over the course of the game. Both teams probably equal in that, especially considering roster size right now.
Haswell ready to go. He's going to hand it off. And going straight ahead on the dive, able to pick up 3 yards for the Hillman, is Logelin.
So 2 carries for Logelin. He's got 25 yards. That time he was the second back through the hole.
Oh, they're going to give him 5. We'll take
5
it.
on that. We'll take that chunk.
Extra couple there. Ball at the 38-yard line. Placer moving from right to left with 5:20 left here in the first quarter. And the Hillman down 6-zip. Haswell ready to go. Prieto in there as the lone receiver on the near side. And now Martin's going to set up in the shotgun. High snap. He's able to recover. Throws it out there. Intended for Davis. Incomplete. Falls to the ground. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, they tried that quick out. Last week it went all the way out to the wide receiver on the bubble screen. This time they tried to go to the receiver inside of the wide out. And I don't think Martin had a real good handle on that. It almost looked like he two-hand shot that over there, almost like a basketball chest pass.
And Gabe Baker doing a little bit of everything, quarterbacking and getting in the secondary to kind of make sure that ball didn't get to the intended target.
And Martin Haswell back in there. Seth Crawford, a running back, number 30, checks in to the lineup.
3rd down and 5. Clock ticking down near 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. It's going to be a delayed handoff coming around the near side is Pereira, and he's got first down yardage there. Gage Parada, I should say, takes it from the Hillman 38 out to the 47-yard line. So a gain of 9 and a first down for Placer.
And just a fake to the middle and a sweep to the outside, and it looked like it was really set up well, but the blocker on the outside didn't quite get all of his man. He got peeled off, and that's what caused the running back to be stopped short of a big gain for Placer.
Isaiah Suggs checks in at receiver now up top. Here's a handoff going straight ahead to Davis over center. Grinding those legs, finding some daylight to the 40, 30, 25, 20, looking to beat his last man. 15, fumbles the ball at the 10. And is he able to dive back on it? Let's see if he was able to get it back. No, it's going to be a turnover. So Lavelle Davis takes it basically, that's going to be 43 yards and then a fumble part, and Nevada Union gets it back 1st and 10 at their own 9. That's a tough break. He was looking towards the end zone.
And he looked like he was going to get there, but that 2nd and 3rd and 4th effort gave the minor tacklers the ability to strip that ball loose, and when it came out, he could not get back on it. So the drive ends prematurely at the 4:35 mark with that fumble.
Again, you'll see Gabe Baker and you'll see Drake Schlachter at quarterback for Nevada Union. This time it's going to be a handoff from Schlachter to Baker, and Baker able to wiggle his way out to the 12-yard line for a gain of 2. 13-yard line, we'll call it a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 upcoming. You can kind of hear overhead the voice of our pal Dan Wilson, who we miss, along with Nate Turner, his excellent spotter. But we all got to, keep our distance here in this new reality we're facing to be able to play spring football. Dave and I are hanging out outside. Here's a handoff to Cormack. Takes it up to the 20-yard line. Good job of holding on for the tackle there by the Hillman. Jaden Duncan, the lead tackler on that.
Dylan Logelin also came up and laid wood up around the shoulder pads, but forced him back inside. But a nice gainer for Logelin. What do you pick up on that? Excuse me, Cameron.
Yeah, Duncan in on the tackle. I'm going to give him 4 on that, and actually 6 on that, and a first down. Check that. So 1st and 10. Ball has been moved out to the 20-yard line. Nevada Union moving from left to right, leading 6-0 here in the first quarter with 3:30 and counting left. Bunch set, 2 receivers to the near side, the short side of the field. Lone receiver up top has plenty of room. Here's Baker looking over the middle. He's got the receiver with a big gainer, big gasher, as the catch is made by Schlachter, who takes it from the 20 out to the 45-yard line. It's going to be a 25-yard gain and a first down for the Miners.
So now he's got 1 for 69, 1 for 25.
Logelin
almost
in
at
on
the
tackle.
100 on 2 catches.
Yeah, Logelin in on the tackle there. Moving quickly now are the Miners. Baker back there. 2 receivers to either side of the formation. He'll hand it off to Cormack off of his left hip. And Cormack drives his way out near midfield. They'll call him down at the 49-yard line. No, they'll give him midfield. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 5. Lead tackler on that was Parada, I believe.
Good mix right now by the Nevada Union Miners, working the pass game, working the run game, and finding the seam pattern. And that's something Placer's been susceptible to year in and year out.
Back in the pistol is Baker. Moves the ball around in his hands. Boy, he had time there. Looking for his receiver downfield. Way too much mustard on that. It falls harmlessly to turf. Brings up a 3rd and 5 from midfield.
Well, good coverage that time by Isaiah Suggs as he pinned the receiver. Kind of was right in front of him. The receiver couldn't get around him, and when they both looked back for the ball, it was overthrown by a good 8-10 yards.
Make sure we mention our kids, Cole Santiago, Isaiah Chenault, your defensive ends. We've also seen 47 Marshall Alcorn, Chase Esty, Alex Rosales on the line, Cardelli, Davis, and Wilkins, your linebackers. Baker back in the pistol. He's going to keep it. It's a design quarterback keeper. And boy, he is big and he is strong. He turned nothing into a 2-yard gain, but it will bring up 4th down and 3. Actually, they'll give him 3 yards on that, 4th and 2 now, as a whole bunch of Hillmen led by Rosales make the tackle, and it's go time here, Pard.
Yeah, you got to think that with the momentum in their favor, they may just go ahead and go for it here.
I would think so. 4th down. The line to gain is the Hillman 45, and they did move it back a yard, so it will bring up 4th down and 3. We'll give him a gain of 2 on that play. And Baker, I mean, he is a big body type. Your typical, you'd think, drop-back quarterback, but he's shown he's not afraid to run, as he did on that play. Empty backfield now. Trips to the near side.
And I think they were going to try to get him to jump, and it didn't happen, and now ball away.
And they'll call a timeout. We'll take it with them. Nevada Union 6, Placer Zip. $1:49 left in the first quarter. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills. Minute 49 left in the first quarter. Casey and Dave with you here from beautiful, clearing Lefevre Stadium. Part when we got here, it was a torrential downpour as the JV just throttled Nevada Union 52-zip, and now we've got clear skies.
And we've got a tight football game at 6-0 with that $1:49 to go, and Nevada Union has decided to kick it away.
And the Hillmen respecting the Miners. They haven't put a back there. Now Davis is going to creep back towards his 23-yard line. High snap. Good end-over-end kick. Will go inside the 20 and continue to roll. Nice Union bounce there down to the Hillman 10-yard line. Placer will have it here starting this drive with 1:39 left in the first quarter of play and a whole bunch of Lefevre turf out in front of them. I saw some people joking on Facebook, Dave, who haven't been out to the stadium recently, that we may have a mud bowl here tonight. Well, we've got turf now. We got carpet. It doesn't get muddy, but it certainly gets wet.
Yeah, I got a real kick out of that when I saw it as well. So, you might want to go and check out the new turf. And then, of course, the other comment was, boy, that field looks good in the rain.
Yeah, that it does. Beautiful job here. And of course, it's a beneficial to all sports, including soccer as well as football. Haswell ready to go, 1st and 10, takes a 7-step drop, looking to the near side, pressure comes, lets it fly. The receiver didn't pick it up. Boy, getting turned around on that play was Prieto. Dave, he looked left, he looked right, and then by the time the ball landed, it was about a yard or two away from him.
Well, I think he was looking for the ball to be more to the inside, and the pass ended up being on the outside. There is a little bit of a breeze, but that's up here. I'm looking at the flag, and maybe it's too wet to be blowing, but over at the flagpole there, it's laying limp against that. But Haswell put the ball up nicely that time. I think it was supposed to be an out, down in a little bit of an out pattern. But Parada, he was gone. He was past the defense, and it could have been a big gamer, or Prieto, I should say.
Handoff going over left guard. That's going to be Martinez with his first carry of the game, picking up 9 yards there for number 44, David Martinez. He got some carries in the second half last week. In fact, they will give him 10, and it'll be a Hillman first down for David Martinez, number 44. So Placer out there moving, feeling good.
And I think that's what the Hillmen are missing right now. They don't have that real solid fullback for the dive plays. They haven't identified who that kid is going to be. In the years past, the last 3 years, it was the big man, Hans, and ahead of that, it was Super Mario.
Handoff taken down in the backfield. Number 28 there for Hillman, Luca Collins.
So no gain for Collins. But, yeah, and we talked about it last week, and it's going to be kind of a theme throughout this 5-game sprint. Without the preseason, without identifying kids, kids come out to play, and you put them in a position, and then as the games go along, you find out maybe they're better suited for a different spot on the field.
So a loss of 1 there for Luca, and it'll bring up second down and 11. Tackle on that play made by Aiden Harrison. Hillman in the middle of the field, ready to go. Haswell under center. Split backs behind. Handoff to Davis, going over center, driving straight ahead into the secondary and more. Go, Lavelle, go! Ramblin' out to the 41-yard line. Nice job there by Lavelle Davis, picking up 23 yards and a big Hillman first down, getting him a little wiggle room out here, Park.
And that's what we're used to seeing on those inside run plays. You get that thing off the tackle and the guard, and the next thing you know, you're in that second level. And what I really liked that time about Lavelle Davis is he wrapped the ball up with both arms once he got into that second level.
And we've got a whistle.
No, it's the end of the quarter.
That'll end the quarter. Our score, Nevada Union 6, Placer zip. Hillman driving here. We'll be right back after a 1-minute break on KAHI.
What position are you putting this year? Out there, and they'll be here next year. They'll be good. You too.
This is your home for Friday Night Football in the Foothills, 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
Second quarter ready to get going here. Hillman with the ball at their own 40-yard line. Delayed handoff. And a great job there, running hard by David Martinez, taking it from the Hillman 41 all the way down to the minor 36-yard line. So that'll be a 25-yard gain there and first down for Placer. Good job on the fake, too. I'm sitting there staring at 28, Luca Collins. Meanwhile, Martinez is running down the field.
Well, we also need to get our sea legs under us when it comes to watching this wing tee. It's been since December of 2019 that we'd watched the game before last weekend.
Collins and Martinez behind, handed off to David. Met immediately by Baker, but able to pick up 2 yards is Martinez. Second down and 8 upcoming.
So is Martinez going to be the heir apparent to that fullback spot? Is he going to be the next in line to be the great guy that gets those inside yards for the Hillmen, allowing those gazelles on the outside to break those end arounds and inside traps?
So blessed over the years, the Hans Grossmans, Mario Lopez's, even Jared Halpert if we go back a few years. Placer has had elite-level fullback play, and they'll look to keep it going with number 44. Right now it's Davis and Logelin in the backfield, handed off to Lavelle, and the Nevada Union defense was there. But again, he's got some really powerful thighs and legs, Dave, because he's going to pick up 3 yards there when he probably shouldn't have had a single one. Not bad.
We'll take that 2 to 3 yard gain there and keep us in position on a third and manageable.
Third down and 8 upcoming. Actually, I should say third and 3 upcoming for the Hillmen. Now moving left to right in this second quarter, trailing at 6-0 Nevada Union. Placer looking to put their first points of the night on the board in a fast-moving first half here from Auburn.
Well, good defensive lineup right now. It's Drake Schlachter on the wideout, Alex Prieto. on the near side.
Haswell's going to dump it out here to Collins, and a good open field tackle there made by number 12 for Nevada Union, JT Conway. Collins got the reception, but I don't think he picked up more than maybe, looks like they'll give him 2, and that's generous. 4th and 1 upcoming.
And the Hillmen will go for it here.
Absolutely they will.
This is where you impose your will. This is where you need that big fullback. Or do you fake the dive and go to something on the around? And again, another one of the Hillmen favorite plays is the barking and the shifting of the line to try to get that defense to jump off and get a free first down.
Ryan Boyer getting into the game on the line for Placer. Oh, and it's a mishandled snap, and I don't think they got it. No, the ball kind of squirted out there. That might be due to the rain, but Placer's not going to pick up the first down. In fact, they'll lose a yard, and Nevada Union will take over on the change of possession. Turnover on downs for Placer, trailing 6-0, and the Miners back with the ball at their own 27-yard line. I don't know, Dave. I'm going to blame that one on the elements, the weather.
And that maybe trying to get that play off a little too quickly, but that is now, I count 3 missed opportunities on 3 drives for the Hillmen, resulting in not getting a whole lot done.
Ready to go is Baker. He'll hand it off to Cormack, and Cormack finding some room, and he's got daylight out to the 45, 50, one man to beat. Hillman 40, 30, 25, and finally out of bounds at the boundary, but he's going to completely flip the field, taking it from their 27 down to the Placer 16-yard line.
What was that, 52 yards? Wow.
Yes.
That was a ripped run right there. And the only thing that really saved the Hillmen was the sideline.
52 yards there. Baker's going to throw it up there. Hillman able to knock it down. Great job of being Johnny on the spot there by number 16, Isaiah Suggs, knocking down the ball, which was intended for number 12, JT Conway, who's also their punter, by the way.
Well, that big, long run putting Nevada Union in position down here deep in Hillman territory, but a good play on the defensive side by the Hillman defensive back to knock that down. Wonder why he didn't even try to grab that. He just slapped it down with 2 hands.
Empty backfield. Baker looking over the middle. Too high and almost ended up in the hands of Logelin. In fact, it touched his fingertips and then soared out of the back of the end zone. 3rd down upcoming.
Yeah, in and out of the hands of the receiver. That ball was spinning side to side, and Logelin tried to put hands up to grab it, but it bounced off, doing part to the way the ball was spinning. It just wasn't coming in a natural trajectory.
9:02 left in the first half. Nevada Union leading and driving into Hillman territory. Ball at the 17-yard line here on 3rd down. It's a pitch to Cormack. Not much doing there. Took it from the 17 down to the 16. They'll give him a yard, and it'll bring up 4th and long, 4th and 9 to be specific. I don't think we're going to see too many kicks tonight, Dave, so I'm guessing they're going to go.
Yeah, well, they're deep in the Hillman territory, and this is one of those situations that you would think so, unless they've got one of the, a good soccer-style kicker, somebody that can put foot to ball, and I think that's what they're going to do is they send in James Kinney. No, they are going to go for it.
Slachter with the ball. He's going to pull it down. Davis is there to meet him, and he is not going to get much.
Turf Monster got him.
Turf Monster got him. In fact, he lost a yard on that. It's a turnover our way as Placer will take over 1st and 10 with 8 minutes left here in the first half.
So there's a promising drive by Nevada Union that goes for naught.
Coming up at halftime, we'll send it back to our studio as we welcome back Chris Quant, our Uber producer. He'll get you caught up on high school football scores. And not only that, there's this little NCAA basketball tournament thing going on. Hello, if you went to Ohio State, I'm so sorry for you losing to the 15 seed today. Well done, Oral Roberts, baby. All right, here we go for the Hillmen. Haswell takes a 3-step drop, throws it too far, intended for Prieto, and it soars out of bounds. So we'll get you caught up on March Madness, NBA, and high school scores from around the region with Chris. And let me encourage you to join Dave and I every Thursday at 7 o'clock for the KAHI Coaches Show. I do apologize. We didn't have our technical stuff set up, so we usually play an interview with Hillman head coach Joey Montoya, which we do during the Coaches Show. But we'll have that for you next week and a live talk with Coach. Join us every Thursday, 7 to 8 here on KAHI.
I think there's a problem with Haswell gripping that football tonight. It is going to be damp. It's been wet all night, and some of the passes just aren't coming out as crisp as they were a week ago.
Hand off to Davis. Davis finding a little bit of room. Conway able to drag him down. That's actually going to be a nice little burst there. Taking it from the Hillman 16 out to the 32-yard line. 16-yard gain. As I mentioned, Conway had to hang on for dear life. Really like what we're seeing out of Lavelle. It's kind of a shame that Garrett couldn't get out here tonight. By the way, check out his highlights. We did retweet that at KAHI Sports on Twitter. He had himself a whale of a ball game last week, and we'll look forward to his return. Here it's 1st and 10 for Placer at the 33-yard line. Haswell hands it off to Logelin. Good job using those blocks, finding his way to the secondary. Moore bursting into Minor territory, continuing to drive those legs. Still moving is Dylan Logelin. He'll take it all the way down to the 26-yard line. So that is going to be a massive gain. 41 yards for number 22 and a first down for Placer.
Well, that's the kind of running we're used to seeing the Hillmen do. Yeah, mixing the pass every now and again. A year ago, I don't think Martin Haswell threw it more than 6-7 times a game. Last week, 29 tosses, completed 14 of those for 344 yards. But this is a different beast tonight. This is a team, you look at their sideline, they don't have a lot of guys. You want to wear them down on the ground.
Hand off to Davis, going over left guard. Does a good job of eluding the first tackle. Then he's dragged down from behind by the linebacker, but not before he picks up a nice healthy gain of 7 yards. 2nd down and 3 upcoming.
And again, this is the kind of football we're used to seeing Placer play. We're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. We're going to misdirect you with the fakes and whatnot off the wing tee, but in the end, it's going to be power football. You're going to see that fullback coming at you, and when you don't see the fullback coming at you and you go for him, there will be somebody scampering around the end towards the end zone.
Chris McFall, number 58, with the tackle. 2nd and 3 with 6:49 left in the half. Hillman looking to get on the board, trailing 6-0.
Motion.
And we've got a motion whistle that's going to back Placer up 5, make it 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Lavelle Davis was trying to get out of the backfield and out to the outside and just didn't get set. So that'll cost the Hillman 5 yards.
Placer's been rotating in their linemen a little bit. Alex Rosales back in there at center, and that's what we like to see. He's a big boy down there, we'll say that. And the Hillman, of course, as we talked about with Coach Montoya on Thursday, known for getting these linemen ready to go at the varsity level, and once again, they've got another great unit.
Yeah, and they got a unit that's fairly young, so they'll be able to build on that, and by next fall, they'll have this 5 games under their belt and a full off season to A, condition, and B, get used to playing with the big boys.
2nd down and 8 from the Minor 25-yard line. Haswell hands it off to Logelin, and a good job there by number 44 stepping in the hole to blow it up. Devin Sunday after Logelin, maybe a yard. We'll see where they put it down.
To the 24-yard line.
Yeah, they'll give him a yard, so 1 yard there for Logelin. 3rd and 7 upcoming.
So what are you going to reach into your bag of tricks for here, Joey Montoya?
Well, you got plenty of room to the far side. The ball's on the near hash at the Minor 24-yard line. We've seen Placer incorporate, I believe, 2 receivers thus far. We haven't seen that trip set like we saw last week on a touchdown play, and this is just going to be all beef. Speaking of beef, handed off to Davis. He's finding room over the near side and able to drive near the first down marker.
Well, if you judge by the line judge on the far side of the field, that should be enough for the first down.
Taking it from the 24 down to the 16-yard line. 8-yard gain for number 2 and a fresh set of down for the Hillmen. By the way, you heard some horn honking going on behind us. They did kind of a impromptu parade where some of the supporters of Placer Athletics were able to come by and show these kids some love here tonight in the home opener. We'd love to see that. And now we've got a penalty that's going to negate that last play part.
All right, so take that 8 off the board for Lavelle Davis and back the Hillmen up.
So now it will be a 3rd down, and they're still moving back.
Now, what was the call?
I didn't hear a call. I didn't even see a call. Unfortunately, again, this is the official 2nd game as well. The ball now has been put back at the Hillman 38-yard line, the line to make the 17.
So whatever it was a biggie.
Yeah, the Minor 38, I should say. Haswell's going to let it go towards the end zone, and just shy of his receiver cutting back was Colin. Actually, that was 23 there for the Hillman.
Jaden Duncan.
Yeah, Jaden Duncan. And it will bring up 4th down. And it's 4th and a lot of work to do here. Obviously, in this position on the field, you're going to go, or you could have Haswell pooch it again.
And again, you saw that pass. It just wasn't the kind of tight spin that he got on the ball a week ago. And it's got to be part and parcel to the dampness of the football, the cold of the night air. And he had the protection. He had the time to get that ball out there. Just didn't put a good spin on it.
The Hillman will go. Haswell, 7-step drop. Pressure coming from Baker. Gets the screen pass off to Martinez, and Martinez doing damage, continuing to move his way down there. He's going to be shy of the first down, but at least he was able to take it down to the 21-yard line. That's a gain of 12, but it will be a turnover for the Hillmen on downs.
So another turnover on downs, and I can't count on 3 fingers the number of times we saw that over the last 5-6 years.
Well, last week, Dave, we were joking about how quickly the game got going. 60 points in the first half. We've got a tenth of that here with just over 5 minutes left. Nevada Union with a 6-0 lead, taking back over, moving from right to left, ball at their 20-yard line in the center of the field. They'll call a timeout. Why don't we send things back to the KAHI studios where we'll check in with our producer, Chris Kwan, and get you caught up on some scores. Here we've got 5:18 left. Nevada Union's taken over with the ball at their 20-yard line, moving from right to left. Baker with the handoff to Cormack. Actually, that one's going to go to Schlachter. Cormack, I should say. And a couple of Hillmen in on the tackle, including Logan Wilkins and Cardelli. No gain.
No gain. So good defensive front that time by the Hillmen, peeling off the blockers, finding the back, and dropping him in his tracks.
All right, moving quickly are the Miners. 2 receivers either side, a back to the right hip of Baker, and he's going to toss that back, and it's dropped right in the hands of Cormack, and he wasn't able to hold on. Nice break for the Hillmen, 3rd and 10 upcoming.
Well, you like that 3rd and 10. You get the stop here and get him to kick the ball back. Plenty of time on the clock, and again, missed opportunities, the story of the first half for the Hillmen. They've moved the ball at will between the 20s. But once they get down in that scoring range, they've had a little bit of difficulty.
Red zone has not been kind yet. 3rd and 10 from the 21. Baker back in the pistol, takes a 3-step drop, looking to the far side, guns it out there.
Whew.
And he had a touchdown that he just overthrew because number 12, JT Conway, was streaking with nobody on him, Dave.
Yeah, JT Conway was wide open that time, and that was going to be an easy 6.
So a break for Placer because Nevada Union will have to punt it here, 4th and 10 from their own 21-yard line. Looks like Logeland's going to get the ball. Well, actually, they're still communicating. Now Logeland will move up. Davis awaits the punt right around midfield. It's a high snap, able to recover and kick it high into the Auburn Knight, end over end, get away from the ball. And Placer touched the ball. Boy, that was not a smart play, but they were able to recover and take over at their midfield. It was almost at the 49, but they'll put it actually at the 49 of Nevada Union. Number 16 there for the Hillmen. Touched that ball, Isaiah Suggs, and he probably should have ran away from it, Bart.
Well, Isaiah Suggs might have thought that was a dead ball when he picked it up. That was a live ball. And, yeah, inside of Nevada Union territory at the NU 49 was where they will start this drive. Plenty of time on the clock at 4:31. They've just got to do away with the self-inflicted wounds.
And don't forget, Placer will get the ball in the second half. Haswell back there in the shotgun. It's a high snap. He's able to recover, but now scrambling for his life. Dumps it off to Davis. Davis able to turn nothing into something and driving all the way down to the 43-yard line. Nice job there by Lavelle. Turned what could have been a sure loss into 6 yards, Dave.
Yeah, nice play that by Davis, and an equally nice play by Martin Haswell to corral that high snap, and then shot put it out to Davis, who cut it back up to the middle of the field.
For 5 yards. They move it back to the 47. See, Dan Wilson and I going back and forth as far as spotting here on the field. Bottom line, Hillmen have it. Here's a good run, good hard run up the middle.
Is that David Martinez again?
By David Martinez, taking it from the 43-yard line down to the 33. So a 10-yard burst there by the fullback, and another fresh set of downs for Placer, driving into Miner territory. Under 4 left to go here in the first half and trailing 6-0. Ready to go again. Split backs behind Haswell. Hand it off to Martinez. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And David's got a head of speed again. They can't pull him down. He's like a little bowling ball out there. Taking it from the 33 down to the 19-yard line. 14-yard gain there for 44. Probably our early candidate for Hillman player of the game, the way he's run on this drive.
Man, that was shades of Meatball right there.
Yeah, Meatball Robinson, a name from the past. And Martinez looking a little bit like Meats there. We love it. 3:30 left in the first half. Ball now inside the red zone at the 19-yard line on the near hash for the Hillmen. Haswell back under center, split backs behind. Handed off to Davis going straight ahead. And this power running in the center of that Miner line is starting to really cook for the Hillmen. They get down to the 12-yard line. That'll be a 7-yard gain, bringing up 3rd down and 3. So 3 minutes left here in the half. Hillmen ready to go quickly. Davison Logelin behind Haswell, handed off to Dillon, going over right guard, 10-5, pushing his way towards and into the end zone. Oh, they're going to call him down at the 1. No, put those arms up. Touchdown, Dylan Logelin, 12-yard burst over right guard. Placer on the board. 6-6 our score, 3 minutes left here in the first half of play. And that was some good running there, Dave. I love power football right up the middle, off right guard, off right tackle. Keep it right there and start to penetrate that D, and that's just what they did.
Well, get back to your identity. This is what Placer football is all about. Run that ball, run it straight ahead, run it to the outside, misdirect it, just power football at its best, and a lot of fullback dives on that one. And then it was the tailback that ended up getting the score.
Estes the long snapper. Prieto will have the kick. Placer looking to take the lead here. It's a low snap.
Blocked.
And it's blocked. We got a tie ball game. 6-6, 2:54 left in the first half of play. Right back in 30 seconds here on KAHI.
Five plays, 49 yards to the land of touchdown. A minute 36 off the clock, and the Hillmen square it at 6s. Snap was low, and it seemed that there was a bit of a delay on the snap as well, allowing Nevada Union to come around the end and smother that PAT attempt.
Kickoff about to be brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway, online at auburntrophies.com. Sports are back. Get your trophy on with our friend Connie Watson and Auburn Trophies. Hillman First Downs this season, sponsored by our friends at Depot Bay Coffee Roasters. They're at 893 High Street in downtown Auburn with convenient online ordering. And Rosales is going to kick it off. Big Alex putting some leg behind it. Cormac fields it at his 16-yard line on the near hash. He fumbles the ball. The ball's out. We got to scramble for the ball. Placer says they have it. Let's wait for the referees to sort it out, but it looks like Placer may be in business as Cormac coughed that thing up high and mighty, and we're just waiting for that pile to unfurl here. It looks like Placer has it, although they're both kind of making a play for it. The referees signal it to the Hillmen. Hillmen with the ball, recovering it for Placer, number 53, Stephon Horn. Johnny on the spot, big break day. We've been looking for a big break, and we got it.
Well, there it is. The Hillmen making the break themselves, and they'll take over. 1st and 10, deep in Nevada Union territory. And that ball will be, where are they going to spot that one?
It's going to be around the 30.
Looks like to be about the 29-yard line. So at the NU 29, so consecutive drives starting inside Nevada Union territory. And this one just...
What? Now they've reversed the call. They've given the ball back to the Miners. I saw Horn emerge from the pile. Well, either way, Baker's ready to go. And now he's going to take off running, reach that ball out there dangerously, and take it to the 31-yard line. So that's a 2-yard gain for number 15, and an unfortunate break for Placer, Dave. I swear I saw Horn come out of the pile.
I thought he did too, and I thought that I saw the man in the white hat point past Placer's direction.
So Nevada Union ready to go here. They've got 2 timeouts left. Baker back there in the pistol, 2 receivers to either side. Fakes it to the running back, throws it over the middle, right into the awaiting arms of the Hillman defender, Cardelli. But it falls to the turf. Either way, good job. 3rd down and 8 upcoming.
Whew. Crazy stuff going on here.
Yeah. Don't forget, Placer won the toss, deferred to the second half, and they've still got 2 timeouts remaining. So if they can get the ball back, you've got a chance for that. Our favorite plays, which is scoring late and then scoring in the 3rd quarter. We'll see what happens. Baker ready to go again. Trips up top, single receiver to the near side. Baker's going to keep it himself and move to the far side. Good job by the Hillman defenders.
And he lost the ball too for a moment.
Led by Cardelli, blowing it up. Davis helping to clean it up. He takes it for a gain of 1 to the 32-yard line. It's going to be a 4th down, and Placer's going to take a timeout. We'll take it with him. 6-6, 2:05 left in the first half. Right back here on KAHI. 2:05 left in the first half. Casey Freelove, Dave Rosenthal, and the Hillman faithful with you here from Auburn. Fast-moving first half of play, and it's going to be 4th down. The Miners are going to have to punt. Placer's going to have the ball with 1 timeout remaining. And Lavelle Davis creeps back just inside his own territory. In fact, now he'll move back to the Hillman 40. JT Conway handling some punting duties. Good snap, little pooch kick. Let's see if Placer gets away from it. Davis had a chance to field it. Might as well just let it go at this point. And Placer will still have it with good field position at their own 36 and a minute 57 to work with here in the first half. Here's where I like having a gunslinger, a guy that can throw the ball. 2-minute offense, we're going to get a real look at Martin Haswell and what he can do with that arm here. And maybe we'll see some of those receiver formations like we did last week, Dave, including that trips that went for a touchdown.
Well, you got to remember that if you make those passes incomplete and you don't chew a whole lot of time, you're going to give NU another shot at it. So you might want to mix in a run here and there just to keep them honest. But, yeah, Martin Haswell's got the cannon. It's just a matter of can he grip the football and get it up the field.
Davis lined up behind Haswell, takes the 3-step drop, looking for Prieto on the near side. Alex has it and met immediately by Schlachter. Takes it out to the 43-yard line, 7-yard gain. 2nd down and 3 upcoming. Placer moving quickly as the clock now ticks down towards 1:40 left in the first half.
Only the second catch of the game for Alex Prieto, his first since the first drive.
Here's the snap. Handed off to Davis. Looking to set up those blocks. Does a good job of pushing out for a first down. Taking it to the 46-yard line. So call that a gain of not 5 there. 6 for number 2. And Placer with the clock moving. Got to get going here. They got one timeout to work with. Haswell with a fake to the back, looking to the far side, has time, throws it out there, little high, looking for Prieto. The ball soared over his head, and it will bring up a 2nd down.
Well, it'll be 2nd and 10, but it stops the clock at a minute 18. They can regroup, decide what they want to do next. It was a little comeback pattern for Prieto that time, and the ball was just whistled right through the hands.
Prieto with a nice game last week for Placer. 3 catches, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So obviously looking to get number 7 involved here. He's on the near side, the lone receiver. Split backs behind Haswell, handed off to Logelin, trying to set up his blocks, takes it into minor territory, and run towards the near boundary, out of bounds at the 46-yard line. So that will be a gain of 9 yards and a first down for Placer.
Actually, a gain of 7. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
3rd down with a minute 13 remaining, and he did go out of bounds. So a break for the Hillman there. I apologize on that call. Handed off to Davis. He's got room. He's got a first down, and he's going to run out of bounds inside the minor 40, at the 40 actually. So that'll be a 6-yard gain, and that will be the first down. And more importantly, he got out of bounds, which will stop our clock with a minute 7 left. Placer with 1 timeout to work with here, Dave.
Yeah, instead of throwing out patterns, you're going to run almost the same kind of thing from the tailback position, just a little off to the outside slant, so to speak. And Davis got to the outside, picked up a few yards, and then stepped out and stopped the clock.
You'd never know it. If you got here about an hour ago, it was raining. Now it's a clear night. Beautiful football weather here just before spring starts this weekend.
And
boy, that's a tough one. That one hit Prieto in the hands and flew off. You know, we don't have time because we're sitting here calling the game, but, you know, if we could get down there, I'd like to really literally get my hands on those footballs.
Just to see if it's the extra weight from the rain. Are they able to get them in a drying bag over there to try to keep them dried off? I see someone on the sidelines as they toss the ball out, rubbing them up with toweling, but I'm not sure toweling is going to take the moisture out or the heft out of that football.
2nd and at the minor 40, handed off to Logelin. He's got room, taking it inside the 30, 25, and all the way down to the 22-yard line. Big run there for Dillon. 18 yards and a first down for Placer.
And that stops the clock with that first down, so the Hillmen don't have to burn it, or do they? And they do take their time out.
We'll take it with them. A minute left here in the first half. 6-6 Placer driving here on KAHI.
You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
58 seconds left in a first half. Good football game here. 6-6. Placer and Nevada Union tied up. The Hillmen have burned their last time out, so Dave, you're going to have to be wary about where you place this ball on the field of play.
Well, you've got an opportunity to run probably 2, maybe 3 running plays in this next set. You've got a 1st and 10. You're at the 28-yard line.
That you are. The ball's on the near hash. You got a lot of room up top, too. You got a whole side of the field if you want to try and run left. We'll see if they do that. Haswell will not do that. In fact, they will do that. Dylan Vogelin with some room to the left side, looking to break his way towards the end zone, pushes it inside the 5. Great hard run there by Vogelin, taking it from the 28-yard line.
Did they Statue of Liberty that play?
That's exactly what they did, Pard. That's a 24-yard gain for 22, and a 1st and goal upcoming for Placer. It's exactly that. The Statue of Liberty. Haswell kind of sat there stiff and then gave it to Vogelin, and he had plenty of room to the far side. Ready to go again is Haswell.
Oh, crashing and burning in the backfield. And they got to hustle up to the line and spike this football if they want to save some time.
Gabe Baker, who's also the quarterback at the linebacker there, able to drop Lavelle Davis back to the 6-yard line. 2-yard loss will bring up 2nd down.
And the clock running 27, 26, 25, 24, 23,
You
22.
want 6. Here we go. Haswell. Fake handoff, scrambling out to the near side.
He
He's
needs
got
to
room
run.
in front of him. He wants to go. And now he'll throw it, and it's going to go out of bounds. Dave, would you have pulled that down and maybe tried to jump towards the
I think
pylon?
he saw his receiver out there and tried to squeeze it in, but it was broken up
So
by
3rd down.
Nevada Union's DB Conway. Clock stop with 14 seconds. At the very least, you might get a field goal try out of this if you can't get it in on 3rd and 8.
Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. So Placer will have an opportunity to try and punch it in. If not, I mean, you'll take the 3 knowing you get the ball in the second half. Points are good and at a premium tonight with a very low-scoring first half, 6 apiece.
I see a number 45 checking into the game. We don't have a 45 on the roster. And now we've got a timeout.
Boy, Vogelin took his helmet off. Looked like he was kind of maybe almost a little sick there. He's
Yeah,
gonna come to
either
the near
sick or a
side.
little woozy.
Yeah.
Maybe took one of those hard hits as he comes off with the helmet off, and he'll have to sit out a play at least.
And we do have a mystery man, 45. Tweet at us at KAHI Sports if you got that number. I thought we had all these down.
Well,
Bunch
they're
of
gonna throw it
fakes
in the
there.
end
Now they're
zone.
going to throw it to the end zone, and it's going to fall harmlessly to the turf with 8 seconds left. Boy, there was a lot of things going on in the backfield there, Dave, but the ball falls down.
On the near side of the field, it looked as though Gabe Parada was being held. And he got up waving his arms, and there was no call from that side, and now they're going to go for the field goal.
That they are.
So another incompletion by Haswell, just 1 of 4 on that last drive. Ball going to be placed at the 15. It'll be a 25-yard attempt, and they definitely need a better snap than they got last time.
That they do. Prieto ready to go.
Where's Kyle Christensen
Boy, it
when you
looked
need
like
him?
Nevada Union jumped off sides. No flag there, and this whole thing just fell apart. The snap wasn't good. The hold got away from the holder and tackled is Prieto back at his 15-yard line. Boy, that was all bad there, Dave.
Well, in looking at the game we saw a week ago where everything seemed to be, wow, pretty crisp, moving up and down the field, a lot, again, of self-inflicted wounds here tonight as Nevada Union hasn't been able to stop the Placer offense. That is until they get into the red zone. We should have at least 3 touchdowns, maybe 4 by now.
Yeah, red zone scoring has been tough. It didn't work out very well there. I don't know whether it was the snap but everything went bad there. 3 seconds left. Nevada Union's just going to take a knee and get us to halftime with a score of the Nevada Union Miners 6, the Placer Hillman 6, one of the lower scoring half of football we've seen in quite some time here on the Voice of the Foothills. We're going to get ourselves a nice little break in here, send you back to KAHI Studios where nice and warm and toasty is our producer Chris Quad, who's got you all covered with the halftime show. We'll be back in about 12 minutes here on the Voice of the Foothills. 6-6, Placer and Nevada Union, end of the first half. Just the dedication of the parents, the fans, the staff, everything that had to come together to be able to have this. It means a lot. It means a lot to us as broadcasters. It means a lot to these parents, to these kids, because you only get one senior year, as we were talking about with Joe Davidson from the Sacramento Bee on Thursday night. And we are just about ready to go here as we've got Nevada Union strolling back out on the field. Placer will get the ball and move from left to right here in the second half. I mean, Dave, as far as strategically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I say we stick with running the ball up the beefy middle.
And if you can do that and continue to do it strongly down into the end zone, you'd be winning this game by 3 touchdowns right now, maybe 4. It's just such just an opposite of what happened a week ago. Everything Placer tried ended up, for the most part, in a touchdown. Unfortunately, so did it for Lincoln. But this week, they just can't seem to crack something inside that 20-yard line. For some reason, the red zone is got a lid on it.
So Nevada Union is going to kick off. Placer will be moving from left to right. Parada and Davis are back for the Hillmen to receive the kick. And we're ready to go. Tyler Holtrup will kick this one end over end. Caught by Davis at the Hillman 15-yard line. Cuts it up to the 20, center of the field, 25-30. Still pushing his way out near the 35. And that's where Placer will have it. 1st and 10, 11:52 left in the third quarter of play. We got a 6-6 ball game as the Hillman offensive line trots out onto the field, led by the Esty brothers. Let's see, do I see Alex Rosales out there? I don't think I see Rosales. Oh, there he is. Okay, so Alex Rosales, your center. And, of course, the Placer Hillman also with Ben Trick at the big tackle, Aiden Dunham as well. You'll see Prieto at receiver, Martin Haswell, your quarterback. Right now to start the second half, Davis and Logelin behind Haswell. This is going to be a handoff to Davis and nothing doing there. Fought his way out for maybe a half a yard. Actually, there'll be Parada on the carry. And we'll give him one there, Dave.
So Parada picks up a yard.
Yeah, 27 with a yard. Baker in on the tackle, 2nd down and 9 upcoming.
Gets Gage to 3 carries for 20 on the night.
So Martin getting the instructions from head coach Joey Montoya and this staff. As coach pointed out, the offense was great last week. Need a little more out of your defense. They've certainly shown that tonight, only allowing 6 first-half points and forcing a turnover. And now Placer is ready to go. And there was a little miscommunication there in the backfield. It's going to force them to call an early timeout. 6-6 our score. 11:07 left in the third quarter. Back in 30 on KAHI. 6-6, 11:07 left here in the second quarter of play. Casey and Dave with you here from Lefevre. And we are ready to go after the timeout. 2nd down and 9 for the Hillmen. Martin Haswell breaks the huddle. Split backs, Logelin and Davis behind. Fake it to Davis. 5-step drop. Martin looking to the near side. It's a high pass, and it took a little too long to get there to his intended target. Number 27, Gage Parada. JT Conway got a hand in there, Dave, to break it up.
And again, the pass was underthrown. The ball's floating on him tonight. It's wobbling a little bit. It just doesn't have that tight spin on the deep ball that it had a week ago.
So 3rd and 9. You really got to pick this up. Part of the reason that you defer to the second half is to make sure you have a chance to take that lead early on in the third quarter. So a big set and a big play here early on. Chenault in there at tight end. Again, 2 backs behind Haswell. He'll fake the delay. Now give it here on the near side to Logelin, who's got room. 1st down and more, 45-50, and running out of the boundary. Takes it from the Hillman 36 right to midfield. A gain of 14 and a fresh set of downs for Placer. Kinney in on the tackle. Well, pushed him out of bounds, really, to be specific.
Well, he was heading that way and just had a little help to get to that sideline, but a nice run by Logelin. He's over the 140, 138, 48, 50, 152 yards for Dylan Logelin.
1st and 10 for the Hillman. Ball on the near hash. Placer moving from left to right. Lavelle Davis moving into the secondary. Big burst of speed, taking it for 20+. 20 specifically down to the 30-yard line for big number 2. Running over left guard and running hard. And another fresh set of downs for the Hillman.
Well, that burst puts him over the 120 mark for the night. So between he and Logelin, they're running the football really nicely, but here's where the Hillmen have stymied themselves. Let's see if they can get past that.
Hand it off to Logelin, looking to set up a Martinez block. The block does come, and Dylan's able to drive his way out near the boundary. It's going to be a gain of 4 before he's pushed out of bounds. Actually, they may mark that at the 33. Let's see where the refs put it down. It's either a 3 or a 4-yarder.
It may not even be that. Looking at the sticks on the far side, maybe just
You're
2.
right. It is 2. They put it back to the 32. 2nd down and 8 upcoming. Placer in their green pants with gold striping on the sides, green tops, green numbers outlined in gold. Placer P on that green and gold helmet. Handed off to Martinez, going straight ahead, and he'll take it to the 26-yard line. So a gain of 2 will bring up 3rd down and 6.
But again, as you're looking up and down these stat lines, that's 63 yards on 6 carries. That's a nice 10 yards per for Martinez. So once again, the running game doing the damage that it always does, but how do you break it through the end zone?
The Miners out here in their blue pants with gold striping on the sides, white tops, blue numbers outlined in gold, green and gold helmets. Look kind of similar to the Michigan helmets. Hand off to Logelin. He's got room around the near side. 20, 10, and pushing his way inside the 5-yard line. Great hard run there by Dylan Logelin. Finally tackled inside the 5. Big gain there for the Hillmen. It's going to bring up a 1st and goal. Let's see where they put it down. At the 5-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 21 yards for number 22, and bring up a first down and goal for Placer.
And can the Hillmen bust the end zone from the 5?
Spotted at the 5-yard line, first and goal.
Haswell and company taking their time. Big Alex Rosales, the center, steps up and grabs the football. Hand it off to Martin, who will hand it off to Lavelle Davis, who's met in the backfield for a no gainer. Good job of tackling there by number 51 for Nevada Union, Jedi Kulik. And we've been waiting to say that. He's an all-namer, Dave.
He is the all-namer on this squad. Anybody with the name Jedi. And we've got an injured minor on the field.
And now Jedi is down on the field. So Jedi is able to make his way off the field unassisted. And again, put that in the all-name category. We love all-namers, and Jedi Kulik certainly fits the bill there. Placer's got the ball. It's going to be second and goal from the 4-yard line. Just a single-yard gain on that last play. And Martin Haswell and company ready to go. 2 backs behind, split them up. Fake it to Davis, hand it to Logelin on the delay, pushing his way towards the end zone. And it looks like the referee on the near side says no, but the referee on the far side has the arms up. Let's decide what we're going to do here, fellas. Boy, it looked like he was in, Dave.
Yeah, he
Logelin ran
definitely
hard.
crossed the plane. I don't know what the near side guy was seeing. The far side guy says, yeah, I saw it quite clearly that the ball crossed the plane. Let's see if we get the overrule in the touchdown here.
They're still talking about it. I mean, I have binoculars, and I have a great sight line from where we're at here under the press box. It was in, but they're not going to give it to him. They'll call it short, it looks like. They're still talking, though. Okay. So a 3-yard gain there for Logelin. I say you feed 22 again. He earned it on that play. Let's see if they can't get him in for 6 here.
I walk up to the line of scrimmage. I tap my center on the haunches, and I go right up behind him into the end zone on a keeper.
Haswell will give it to Logelin. This time he dives over and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman. Dylan Logelin from a yard out, giving Placer the lead for the first time tonight, 12-6 with 8:03 left here in the third quarter. Dave, they got to cash it in the red zone, and they just did.
Well, and that's what they've been needing to do all along. You know, the running game was there, and it's been there all night long. And that time they just kept feeding their backs, and they finally push it into the end zone to take the lead. And maybe that'll take the lid off.
Let's see if we can't get a good kickoff here as well. As far as the extra point, it's been a little bit of an adventure thus far with the wet footballs and the field turf and a high snap. Now Placer is going to go for 2. Forget bringing in the kicker. Let's try to extend this lead to 14-6. Hand it off to Martinez.
Now that's Logelin again.
Logelin, and he's going to be into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Our new score, Placer Hillman 14, Nevada Union Miners 6. 8:03 left here in the third quarter of play. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
Tune in to the KAHI Coaches Show every Thursday at 7 p.m. right here on KAHI. Hillman highlights, player interviews, and more. Now, back to the game.
9 plays, 65 yards, capped by a Dylan Logelin 1-yard run, and he goes 2 better and gets the 2-point conversion to put the Placer Hillman on top 14-6 as they get ready to kick off. And that kickoff being brought to you by Auburn Trophies on Grass Valley Highway. Hey, Erlene. Hey, Connie. I know what you guys are doing. You're having fun listening to the game tonight.
Prieto kicks it off, fielded by Cormack at his own 14-yard line, cuts it to the center of the field up to the 25 and pushing his way out near the 30. I think, they'll give him the 30. That's where Nevada Union will take over. 1st and 10 now trailing. It's 14-6 Placer, 7:53 left in the third quarter. And the Miners moving from right to left here as we get this third quarter to continue. That's exactly what the doctor ordered, though, Dave. Get the ball and drive down and score.
And here's where Placer has to do Placer things, and that is get a stop. Get the stop, get the ball back, get another score. And the way that Nevada Union's been playing offense tonight, 2-score differential could be it.
Baker back there in the pistol. Cormack flanked off his left hip. Throw it out here to the near side to Schlachter. And Schlachter's not going to get much, if anything. I guess they'll give him 2 on that as he headed to the boundary. Actually 1 out to the 31-yard line where it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
And that was nearly a lateral.
Good call.
And I thought that the referee, when he held his arm out to the right, was saying it was a lateral.
Parada forced him out of bounds. And the Miners moving quickly. They'll send trips up top, single receiver to the near side to back off the right hip of Baker, who is in the shotgun, or I should say the pistol. He'll throw it out there to the far side. Catch is made by number 11 for Nevada Union. Swassey with the catch there. Aiton Swassey, his first reception of the night, and he's able to pick up 7 on that play for number 11.
And that was another one of those seam patterns. And again, Placer's defense can be susceptible to that seam pattern, and that is exactly what they threw there, right up the seam for 11.
It's going to be a snap to Baker. He's got room, and he's finding a way to get into Hillman territory and more as he drives out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Big run there by Gabe Baker, taking it from his own 38-yard line and well into Hillman territory, down to their 38-yard line, Dave.
So a nice run that time by Baker.
Absolutely. So that'll be 24 yards and a first down.
And that was designed. He just took the ball and went off tackle to the outside. He's a big guy, and he runs the ball real well. I think he had a long touchdown run a week ago against Bear River, and he's back at it already here.
Ball on the far hash, hand off to Cormack.
Good
Grabbed
tackle
by Hillman. Yeah, good job. Alex Rosales got a hand on him, as did Noah Cardelli. Cormack is able to pick up 3 yards there to the 35-yard line.
Well, in baseball terms, you're looking for a shutdown inning right here. You get that touchdown, you do not want to turn around and let Nevada Union run the length of the field and get one of their own.
Baker back there in the pistol again, trips to the near side. Way too much mustard on that pass, intended for the near side receiver, Aaron Schaefer. Second down upcoming.
And for the Hillman on that play, Jaden Duncan looked like he was trying to make a play on the ball, but the receiver on the outside, and I want to say it was Andy Hall out there, check that on the other side, it was Arton Swazi, held him, had him hooked around the arm so he couldn't make that drive towards that football as it was thrown high.
3rd and 7, back in the pistol is Baker. 3-step drop, looking over the middle, tipped. Nice job by the Hillman. Logan Wilkins celebrates a nice tip. That will bring up 4th down. And now Coach Montoya going a little haywire here on the sidelines.
Because we have a flag.
Yes, that
and
we
it's
do.
roughing the passer against the Hillman.
Yikes. Boy, that's a tough one there. That's going to be a 15-yarder. And instead of 4th and 7, it'll be a fresh set of downs as they'll move that down to the Placer 20, where Nevada Union will continue the drive. Let's mentally mark that just inside the 6-minute mark here of the third quarter. That's a costly penalty part.
Yeah, you can't have that penalty. Not when you've gotten the stop that you were looking for. And it's really hard to believe you can rough a guy as big as Gabe Baker.
Baker's as big or bigger than every one of their linemen. He's a big boy back there in the pistol. Looking over the middle again. No, to the far side. Catches made for the touchdown by Cormack. 20-yard pitch and catch over the Hillman secondary and into the end zone goes number 28, Cameron Cormack, his first receiving touchdown of the year. And that makes it 14-12. I would imagine 2-point conversion pending.
Well, and it was a great pass. He just stood back there and just threw it out right up the sideline in stride to Cormack, and he blew past the secondary and just it was a thing of beauty. Yeah, you got to give credit where credit was due, and that was a very nice pitch and catch.
Interesting call here by the Nevada Union coaching staff. They are going to line up like they're going to kick it. Tyler Holtrop is the kicker. Decent snap, creeps it inside the right upright. Our new score, Placer 14, Nevada Union 13, 5:53 left in the third quarter here on KAHI Radio.
Your score, Placer 14, Miners 13.
You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
5 plays, 70 yards, took just 2 minutes off the clock, and the key plays there, the 24-yard run, one of those by Gabe Baker, but the real key play there was that roughing the passer that gave them an extra set of downs, and that culminated in the 20-yard touchdown pass.
Parada and Davis back deep to receive the kick from the leg of Tyler Holtrop, who just put through that extra point. 14-13, Placer with the lead, and moving from left to right here in this third quarter as they'll take their second possession of the half. Davis fields it at his 14-yard line, out across the 15, 20, 25, bounces off a defender, and no, the Miners able to push their way forward and drive him down.
They'll give him progress out to the 29.
So 1st and 10, Hillman at their own 29-yard line. Again, leading by a point with 5:45 left here in the third quarter. Logan Wilkins limping a little bit as he heads off the field. Martinez heads into the game at fullback for the Hillman. You've also got Parada in there. In the wing, Prieto, your receiver. And then Dylan Logel in the running back. Handed off to Martinez. Nope. Yep, straight ahead. Martinez still pushing forward. Out to the 36-yard line. So
nearly a
7-yard
gain
gain there.
Yeah.
And a good job by Haswell. You know it's good when it takes me a minute to call the play because he's doing a great job faking it, and the big beefy line is doing a good job disguising the plays.
Well, and once again, Placer's just got to get back to Placer football. Keep the ball on the ground, keep using the fullback dive, run the other plays off of that.
Hand it off to Logelin this time on the near side over right guard. Fighting hard and does pick up the first down. Takes it to the 40-yard line. It's a 4-yard gain and a fresh set of downs for the Hillmen. And now we've got Logelin still down on the turf. They'll have to take a look at him. Welcome back. Dylan Logelin able to hobble off the field to the bench. It looks like it could be cramps. I mean, he looks like he's okay. Just took him a minute to get over to the Hillman sideline. He'll take his helmet off and sit down for a moment while the trainers take a look. Perhaps get him some fluids as well.
I don't think they want him sitting down. They want him standing up.
That they do. Haswell with the delayed handoff to Parada. Parada's finding some room up the middle.
Mask.
And there is a face mask there. Parada's still on his feet. Pushing down to the 45 and near the 40-yard line. Great run there by Gage Parada, 19 yards, and no flag on the play.
Yeah, it was interesting because you saw the head spin around as they grabbed the face mask, but no call. That would have been an additional 15 on top of that nice run. Nonetheless, another first down for the Hillmen. That first down brought to you by Depot Bay Coffee Roasters, 8893 High Street in Auburn. I'd love a cup in my hands to keep them warm right now.
Pre-snap motion by the Hillmen. By the way, Seth Crawford, number 30, checked in at wide receiver for the first time this season, and I think that Parada may have moved in the wing there, Dave, before the snap. So 1st and 15, Haswell will come over to the sideline to talk to Hillman head coach Joey Montoya and set up the play. Let us reset. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Placer has a 14-13 lead. This game was tied at 6 apiece in the first half, and both teams have been able to cash in on their drives here in the second half. And now we are ready to go. 1st and 15, as I mentioned. Split backs behind Haswell. Handed off to Lavelle Davis, going straight ahead. Nice block by Rosales to help him push it all the way down to the 39-yard line. 7-yard gain there.
So another 7 for Davis. And at 104 at the half, plus 122, that makes it 126, 36, and 4 is 40.
And
so he's at the 140-yard mark.
Perhaps more cramping. Chase Esty getting his leg stretched out down there.
And as we talked about last week, 3 weeks to get into football shape, not nearly enough, and this is about the time in the game where you'd expect these kind of things to happen. As, he goes back down, and if you've ever had a leg cramp, you know.
Second and 8 from the minor 38-yard line. Ball in the center of the field. Haswell hands it off to Logelin, who just returned from cramping. And Dylan's got a big gainer as he runs to the near boundary, taking it from the 38 down to the 28. So a 10-yard gain for number 22. Doesn't look like he was affected too much by anything except for maybe need a little water.
Yeah, Dylan Logelin's having himself a night. He's going so fast and so furiously, I can't even have these numbers up.
That's a good problem to have. All right, now checking in for the Hillmen at wide receiver. Number 16, Isaiah Suggs.
193 for Logelin now.
Very nice. Hillman moving left to right again. Ball at the 28-yard line on the near hash. Rosales now ready to go, the big center. Snaps it to Haswell. Delayed handoff to Logelin, going over center right guard. Dragged down from behind by the Nevada Union defender, but not before he picks up a big 8-yard gain there.
And that should push him right around the 200 mark on the evening, and Logelin back down again with cramping as well.
Okay, well.
So you get him in for a few plays, and then he's got to come off to the sideline, but there are guys in there that can step up. And one of those guys heading into the game right now is Seth Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford moves to the wide side there where there is some room. Davis the lone setback. And it's going to be a handoff to Parada going over the left side right into the awaiting arms of Gabe Baker. But Parada is able to pick up 2 yards down to the 17. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
So the Hillmen need to convert here, and you know it's 4th and go territory with just that 1 yard to go, and it looks like they gave him enough for the first down.
That they did. An extra yard will take it. 1st and 10 for the Hillmen from the 17-yard line. Down to 3 minutes left in the third quarter of play. And it's a handoff.
Second back through.
Ooh, and a little bit of delay there for number 28 for the Hillmen.
Luca Collins with his
with
second
a nice
carry of
run.
the game.
Yeah, he takes it for 7 yards down to the 10. Second down and 3 upcoming for Placer. A lot of different backs in here. A lot of different personnel. This is exactly what you'd expect as the team still kind of, feeling themselves out here in week 2 in a much lower scoring game than we had last week in Lincoln. Once again, give it to Luca Collins. He runs right into Big Gabe Baker, who's going to drop him for a 1-yard loss back to the 11-yard line. Boy, Baker really is an athlete, Dave. I mean, not only is he doing a great job at quarterback, but he's been in on, I would say, at least half the tackles for Nevada Union tonight.
Yeah, he's playing up there in that linebacker spot, and he's moving in and reading the plays, much like a quarterback on the defensive side of the ball. Find the ball, go to the ball, drop the runner, and he's been doing a real nice job of that. Playing both ways tonight for this NU Minor squad.
Alex Prieto back in there at wideout for the Hillmen, 3rd and 4 from the 11-yard line. Handoff to Logelin, and Logelin is met by the linebacker, pushing hard. It's going to be close. I think he may be just shy, or he's right at the line to gain.
The line to gain looks to be the 7.5. And they're going to flip that marker over to a 4th down, and it's going to be 4th and about a yard to go.
So needed 4, picked up 3. It will bring up a 4th and 1 from between the 9 and the 8-yard line. Officially the 8-yard line, the line to make. Big play here.
And timeout on the field called by Nevada Union.
We'll take it with them. 1:11 left in the third quarter. Placer with a 14-13 lead, looking to put more on the board here on Friday Night Football in the Foothills. Big KAHI shout out and thank you to Placer Hillman Athletic Director Mark Lee, who obviously has his plate full, trying to navigate through this spring football season. We appreciate you, Mark. Thanks for setting Dave and I up here in a different position than we're accustomed to, but it's actually turned into a beautiful night, clear skies over Auburn after a rainy start. So 4th and 1, big play here for the Hillmen. So big that they call the timeout to discuss. The ball is at the minor 8-yard line, and Placer is ready to rock. Martin Haswell has the play from Coach Montoya, and we're ready to go. Luca Collins in there, Lavelle Davis handed off to Dylan Logelin around the near side into the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown Hillman. Dylan Logelin takes it 8 yards in and puts another TD on the board for Placer, who now extends that lead to 20-13 with 1:05 left here in the third quarter of play. We've also got a Nevada Union minor down on the field, and now a Hillman taking a knee as well. This is kind of the exact same time last week we saw Crampy come into play, and that is Dylan down on the ground, Dave. After scoring the touchdown, just needs a minute to catch his breath, while meanwhile the minor trainers are over there taking a closer look at their defender. I can't quite make up the number because of the trainers blocking my path, but either way, that's a big one for the Hillmen. Let's get a 30-second break in. 20-13, extra point pending here with a $1:05 left in the third quarter on KAHI. 20-13 our score. Dylan Logelin cashing it in for 6 from 8 yards out. And now the Hillmen with a decision to make. They've got that 7-point lead. Again, 20-13. And it looks like they've got personnel in there to go for it. Prieto is the kicker and the wide receiver right now. He's at the wide out position. And Martin Haswell and company look like they're ready to go with Martinez behind.
Haswell dropped the
Haswell
football.
dropped the ball, and Nevada Union jumped on it. Interesting call there. Considering you had the 7-point lead, you could push it out to 8. Placer wanted to extend it to a 2-possession game. Instead, our score remains 20-13 with a 1:03 left in the third quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KAHI.
You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
That scoring drive, 11 plays, 71 yards, took 4:40 off the clock. 2-point conversion fails, but the Hillmen up 7 as they get ready to kick off. And this kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies.
Once again, they'll let big Alex Rosales handle the kicking duties. Ball is fielded at the 18-yard line, out to the 20, 25, 30, and out to the 33-yard line goes number 8, Brennan Crow. So Nevada Union's in a good position there, Dave. Now still trailing by 7, just under a minute left here in the third quarter, and we've got yet another Hillman down. Perhaps more cramps. This time it's Alex Rosales who kicked the ball off, and the trainers are already out there stretching him out. Baker and the Miners ready to go here. He's in the pistol. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, a design keeper. He's looking for room to the far side. He won't find it.
He'll lose 4 yards.
The Hillman able to burst through there, led by Noah Cardelli. Then Lavelle Davis helping him clean it up. Take him back to the 31-yard line. Loss of 3 will bring up second down and 13. Nice job there by the Hillman D. And I think they may have projected that a little bit. I think you and I knew from the second the snap came that I was going to be a quarterback keeper. All right, so right back at it are the Miners. 2 receivers to either side of the formation. A back just off the hip of Baker. 3-step drop. Too much mustard on that pass, which was intended for number 11, Aaron Swasey.
And Swasey tipped that ball in the air, and the trailing defender almost had a chance to grab it.
So, 3rd down, just like that. 3rd and 13. If Placer could force a punt here and then get the ball to start the 4th quarter, they've got to be feeling very confident. Baker will empty out the backfield, trips to the short side of the field. Looking, throws it out there. Catch is made for the first down by J.T. Conway, who takes it into Hillman territory, moving it from the Nevada Union 31 down to the Placer, 46-yard line. So that's going to be a nice gain there of 23 yards, Dave, and bring up a fresh set of downs for the Miners as we've got 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
No pressure at all from the Hillman defense, and the quarterback just stood back there and looked for the receivers. He had 3 on that side of the field, and he had his choice.
Hand off to Cormack for a gain of 2, and that will conclude the 3rd quarter of play. Placer Hillman 20, Nevada Union Miners 13. Come back with us for the 4th quarter here on Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
This is your home for Friday Night Football in the Foothills, 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
As we start the 4th quarter, Gabe Baker with a dart over the middle for a first down. Catch is made by J.T. Conway, taking it from the 44-yard line down to the Hillman 32. Gain of 12 for number 12. It'll bring up a 1st and 10. Our score, Placer 20, Nevada Union 13. Miners moving from left to right in this final quarter of play. And Baker ready to go again from the pistol. Cormack to his right. Low pass there, intended for Swasey. Drops to the turf, brings up 2nd down and 10. So this is prove-it time here, Dave. The defense has certainly played better tonight. And if they can get a stop here, Placer's going to be able to grind a lot of minutes off this clock. Critical couple of plays coming up here.
Well, 2 of 4 on this possession is Baker, and both of those catches by J.T. Conway.
All right. Ready to go again. 2 receivers up top. Cormack to the right of Baker. And handed off to Cormack. Makes a nice little cut. Sheds a defender. No, unable to shed a defender. Good job of hanging on there by the Hillman defense.
I don't know if that was jersey or jersey pants right there, but there was a bit of a stretch of some fabric, and that kind of slowed him down and let the pursuit get to him after he made that nice little cut move.
Yeah, back down there, number 23 for the Hillman, Jaden Duncan, with a nice job. Only a gain of 2 there for number 28. 3rd down and 8 upcoming. And we are ready to go with an empty backfield. 3 receivers to the near side, 3-step drop. Baker lets it fly towards the end zone. He's got a receiver down there, but he threw it about 10 yards over his head and out of the back of the end zone. 4th down upcoming. The secondary was there, but that just wasn't a good ball.
Yeah, and the coverage was there. I think he threw it through the end zone, maybe thinking his guy could go to the back of the end zone and chase it down, but he had a lot of mustard on that one, and that one just sailed the end zone.
So 4th and 8.
And it looks like they're going to go for it here.
That they are. Ball at the Hillman 30 on the far hash. Baker ready to go. Oh, and they move pre-snap. That's going to move them back 5 and bring up a 4th and 13. The quarterback flinched, Dave.
And you may want to rethink that. And now that the ball is out closer to the 40, past the 35, you may want to try to pooch one down there yourself and try to pin the Hillman deep.
Yeah, 4th and 13 is not the easiest play to call, no matter who your coach is. I don't care if you're an NFL coach.
And they're going to go for it again, and I'd be careful looking for a seam pattern here because that seems to have been working.
Okay, Baker, plenty of time, so much time. Throws it to his receiver, and the catch is made for the first down.
Got a flag on the near side. That one went up late. I'm not sure what that's going to be all about, but that was another nice play. Just way too much time for Baker.
Yeah, number 10, Drake Schlachter with the reception, and we're waiting on the flag. The ball's down at the 11-yard line.
It's against the Hillman.
So it's a 24-yard gain for number 10 and a little more once they tack on this penalty, I would assume. Okay, well, I guess they picked it up because they are staying there 1st and 10 at the Hillman 12-yard line for Baker. He's going to dump it out here to
That's a
Cormac.
fumble.
That's a lateral, and Cormac had to dive back and jump on it at the 21-yard line. That'll be a big loss there if they did call it a lateral, in fact.
It was a lateral. It was thrown behind the running back. And they're going to call that an incomplete pass.
Oh, my goodness.
Painfully obvious that was thrown behind him.
Dave doesn't even have binoculars, and he called it the second that the ball was released. My goodness. That is a nice break if you're a Miner fan, and maybe a little if you're a Placer fan.
Well, the referees and crew still discussing in the middle of the field. Gabe Baker out there. He's trying to get his 2 cents worth in. And what are they going to call? Second down?
Second down.
Well, they didn't wave the arms to the side as if an incomplete pass, so I think they are going to call that a lateral fumble. And that ball's going to be all the way back to the 23-yard line. The what?
What? Okay, well, it's second down and quite a length of field. Here's Baker throwing it to the far side.
Good stick.
Incomplete. Nice job by Lavelle Davis just lighting up Aaron Swayze and not allowing him to grab the ball.
That's a 7 pass in this drive by Gabe Baker. He's only completed 3 of them. And Lavelle Davis coming in and making a nice hit there to blow that play up, and that'll push it to a 3rd down and quite a ways.
The line to make is the Hillman 3, and they've got it at the 22. You do the math. It's a lot. Almost 20 yards. 3rd down. Here we go. Baker moving to the near side. He'll let it fly into the end zone. The Hillman able to... Oh, that should have been an interception. Logelin looked it into his arms and maybe looked up in the lights and dropped it, but either way, it's 4th down now and a mile to go for the Miners.
Sometimes they're just too easy. It comes right into your hands, and all you're thinking about is holding on to it, and it slips all the way through to the ground, but that'll bring up the 4th down. Boy, that would have been nice. They would have had the ball 1st and 10 at the 20.
Yeah.
Instead, it'll be a 4th down and another shot for the 1st down for Gabe Baker.
And, I mean, just keep your secondary back. The Hillmen are lined up pretty deep, as they should be, because this one's probably going into the end zone on 4th down and 20.
Maybe get a little pressure this time.
Baker with plenty of time, throws it towards the Hillman end zone too high, and again, another opportunity for an interception for Logelin, and it went through his hands. Dave.
That's okay, because
That's
now
okay.
they'll get the ball at the 22 or 23 rather than at the 20. Knock that down and pick up 3 yards on the turnover.
Well,
And
that
3
was
of 9 on that drive for Gabe Baker.
it was a good job by the Hillman secondary, which is something we were looking for this week after JT Willis had a really nice night for Lincoln last week. Placer certainly has been working on their defensive drills, and they are the beneficiary there of, well, a turnover on downs. It's 1st and 10 Placer at their own 22, 10:08 left in the 4th quarter, looking to build on this 7-point lead. Handed off to Lavelle Davis, going over the far side into the secondary.
going.
Big burst 40 to midfield, to the 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Hillman. Lavelle Davis with a huge burst of 78 yards.
Wow. And he was gone.
Touchdown, Hillman. 26-13 our new score. 9:55 left in the 4th quarter. Putting a little cushion, a little padding on that one. And number 2 looked like he was shot out of a cannon and into the opposing end zone. Placer now looking to extend this lead to 2 touchdowns, and they will kick the extra point with Prieto.
And again, watch that center exchange. That's been the difficulty tonight. A week ago, Prieto 5 out of 5.
And Baker jumped off sides for Nevada Union. So move it a little closer if you like.
And maybe now you put the offense back on the field from inside the 5 down to the 2.
Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. Martin Haswell heading back out onto the field, and Gage Parada will join him. The special teams shuffle here. And I agree, Dave. You're that close, you might as well go for 2.
Well, that drive took a whole 13 seconds for him to go. That's 78 yards. And it was a one-play drive for 78 yards. So now when you tack on 2 here, give yourselves a bit of a cushion.
Logelin in there, running back. Martinez, your fullback. And now Haswell under center. He'll hand it off to Martinez, who barrels his way over the Nevada Union defense and in for two. 28-13. Placer extends his lead to 15. 9:55 left in the fourth quarter. Happiness is being home on the hill here on KAHI. Well, a yellow piece of laundry that we missed changes the dynamic as Alex Prieto decides to kick it through after the Hillmen were backed up. Again, it's early in the season for the referees as well. I literally cannot provide you an explanation. Maybe our video audience on Facebook saw something, but I didn't see any penalty flags fly. So we've got to reset the score now. Instead of 28-13, now 27-13. Hillmen with the lead. And that was a nice drive. I'll take two-play drives all year, Dave.
That was a one-play drive.
One
play, 78 yards, and like out of the cannon burst Lavelle Davis Jr., and he just took it to the house. When he got down around the 10, 12-yard line, I thought, oh, are they going to catch him? But he put on a little afterburner, and I think the kids from Nevada Union realized they weren't going to catch him.
Cormac back at his own 15-yard line awaiting the kick from Alex Prieto. Kickoff's brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler's Green Shopping Center. Go online to auburntrophies.com and tell Connie KAHI sent you.
That should be down. Did his knee not touch?
Yeah, Cormac's knee touched at the 25, so that's where Nevada Union will have it with 9:52 left in the fourth quarter, and the Miners now trailing by 14. And Dave, the one thing that we've talked about a little bit on air and off air as well is when you've got a limited roster like this, only 19 players available for Nevada Union, you've got to be getting a little bit tired.
Yeah, and couple that with just 3 weeks to get into shape, now 4 weeks of practices on a cold night with cramping already being a problem. We'll see if the Nevada Union Miners can muster something here late.
Baker takes the snap from the pistol, looks out here to the near side. The catch will be made. And diving out of bounds right there where the tents are, so we can't see his number.
I think it was Aaron Swayze.
Yeah, it was Swayze. Able to pick up 1, 2, 3 yards there. So second down and 7 upcoming.
And I wonder if we're going to see just a steady diet of throwing the football now by Gabe Baker.
He's got trips up top. Baker with time again. This time he's going to keep it. He runs right into the beef of the Hillman defense, the center of the field.
And a late flag coming in.
Yeah.
And that flag came all the way from the defensive backfield.
So a 2-yard.
They're going to call a face mask, I think.
Yeah, 2-yard gain for Baker out to the 34, and then the flag afterwards, which I would have to agree with my partner here. I think that's going to end up being a face mask on the hill.
It's going to be a personal foul. That'll be the 15-yard variety right there. So that's going to give them a fresh set of downs and move them up the field.
Yeah, they'll be moving it from the 34 out to just shy of midfield if it goes as we think, but the referees are still discussing.
No, they're going to walk it off right here.
Here we go. All right, so it should be out at the 48-yard line when they're done with this, and a 1st and 10 for Nevada Union trailing by 14. It's 27-13 Placer with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter of play. Well, it's been a pretty clean game, especially for week 2 as far as penalties, but that one hurts a little bit as the Miners continue to have hope here, trailing by 2 scores. Baker's going to throw it over the middle. The catch is made with room to the 30, and down inside the 25-yard line goes Schlachter. So that'll be 28-yard gain and another first down for Nevada Union, number 10 with the grab.
And that was a bit of a crossing pattern that ended up in that seam between the 2 hash marks. And another nice throw by Parada. He's got the time is the problem. They're not getting the pressure. Now they finally get a little pressure.
Baker lets
it
fly.
Up and it almost picked off.
Yeah, Noah Cardelli had his hands on the ball. It falls to the turf. Second down upcoming. Not a good decision there, though, to be honest with you. I mean, Conway was completely covered up by 2 defenders.
Yeah, throw that one away and live to fight another battle.
So 2nd and 10 for Nevada Union.
And that was actually a throwaway. Could have been picked off, though. Could have been another turnover for the Hillmen.
Baker ready to go again. 2 receivers to either side of the formation. He'll gun it out there to Schlachter, and again, a little too much on that pass. It falls to the turf and brings up 3rd down for Nevada Union.
Well, 2 of 4 on this drive is Gabe Baker.
And the thing that he's had a lot of time on these drives, but I think we'll take it as far as the way our secondary is playing and covering up their receivers. I mean, it's give and take, and it's worked out so well here for the Hillmen with this 14-point lead.
And the Hillmen jump and then jump back, and they're going to give them a free 5. And so instead of 3rd and 10, it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Move the ball down to the Hillman 19-yard line. As Dave mentioned, it'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
So the mistakes that they're making this week are not mistakes that were being made a week ago. Last week a track meet back and forth, and this one more of a grind-out kind of game.
That it is. Baker back there again in the pistol. Cormack to his left. He's going to throw it towards the end zone. That one's going to be too far. The intended target was number 6, Schaefer, and that one goes out of the back far side of the end zone. 4th and 5 upcoming. Big defensive play here for Placer. If you can turn them over on downs here, you can pretty much grind up this clock with another one of those customized Hillman run drives that we see so often.
Yeah, 4 or 5 minutes to eat off the clock and culminate that with a score, and you can put this one in the books for week 2, but you've got to get the stop first, and would be nice to see a little pressure on Gabe Baker.
And make sure you don't jump because it is 4th and 5. With the ball at the 19-yard line of Placer on the near hash. Baker again back in the pistol as he's been all night. Spins the ball around in his hands. He'll get the pressure. He eludes it. Now he's going to try and run for it. He'll have the first down and more as he takes it inside the 10-yard line and down near the 8. Down to the 7-yard line. So a 12-yard run there by Gabe Baker. 1st and goal for Nevada Union with continued hope here.
And just when you think you got a little pressure, you flush him out of the pocket to the near side. He just kind of weaves his way Tim Tebow-like up the field and uses that big body to pick up the first down.
Baker checking the sideline to get instructions. Again, kind of that same formation they've been leaning on here for the majority of the game. 2 receivers to either side. Baker spins it around in his arms again.
He's got the field in front of him.
He's got the field in front of him. He's got room. He decides to pull it down. Davis grabs him, though, and throws him down. It's going to either be a no-gainer or a loss of 1. Nice job by Lavelle getting up on him. And it will be a loss. So 2nd and goal upcoming. The ball will be placed down at the 8-yard line. Boy, Lavelle having a hell of a night, Dave.
No, indeed he is, on both sides of the ball.
All right, now they'll change it up a little bit. Bring 3 receivers here to the near side. Wide splits there. Cormack with the ball going over the left side. The short side of the field, spinning his feet and going inside the 5, where he's met and dispensed by the Hillman D.
Somebody held him up, and somebody came up from that defensive backfield and just put a shoulder right between the 2 and the 8 and drove him back.
Yeah, Duncan there with Parada helping him clean it up. It's a gain of 4 down to the Hillman 3, where it will be 3rd and goal. I like that play call, though, because everybody was eyeing the receivers on the near side. Let's see what they have on this one. This one's going to Schlachter. He's going to throw it into the end zone, and dropping the ball is Baker. He tried to throw it back to his QB. Check that. Dropping the ball was number 6, Aaron Schaefer, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf. He did beat his secondary defender, but he couldn't pull it in, and now it's 4th and goal.
Well, that's a second pass attempt by Schlachter tonight, and he's missed on both of them. Well, another big play for the Hillman defense. Can they stand up and make it happen here on this 4th and goal?
So Conway and Swayze on the near side, the receivers, 2 up top as well. Baker's going to keep it himself, run into the end zone for the touchdown for the Miners. 27-19, our new score. Extra point pending. 6:49 remaining in the 4th quarter of play. It's a tough one to defend, Dave. I mean, I'm willing to give the Hillman a little leeway there.
And I kind of saw that play coming a couple of plays ago. I was wondering why they just didn't run it. He's as big as a fullback and as quick as a halfback, and you spread the formation like that, there's going to be a hole, and he took advantage that time. Now they're going to go for 2, and it's going to be Schlachter in the backfield again at the quarterback position.
That it is. And Schlachter's going to roll to the near side, throw it into the end zone, and it's going to fall to the turf again, incomplete. So our score, Hillman 27, Miners 19, an 8-point margin with 6:49 left in the contest. This is Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
6 plays, 72 yards. It took 3:43 off the clock, and the Hillman will get the football back and see if they can't hold on to it for another 3 or 4 minutes their own.
Kickoffs brought to you by Auburn Trophies, online at auburntrophies.com, or go see them at 1221 Fiddler's Green, or in the Fiddler's Green Shopping Center, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Ball is fielded by the Hillman at the 30. Now up to the 40, going into midfield.
Watch out.
40.
Watch out. Watch
35,
out.
30.
There you go.
Continuing down to the 20, 15, 10, and going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. Hillman, number 28. Nice job there by Placer, picking up the touchdown.
Luca Collins.
Luca Collins taking it all the way for the touch.
Where did he field that football? About the 30-yard line?
I'd say about the 30.
Between the 25 and the 30, he was the up back and took it and just wrapped both hands around it, cut to the inside, got a wall, and just ran it up the sideline.
Let's give that young man, we'll split the difference. 68-yard touchdown there for Luca Collins, his first of the year, and extending the Hillman lead to 33-19. Extra point pending. Prieto's out there and ready to go. Good snap. Creeps inside the right upright to extend the Hillman lead to 34-19. 6:34 left in the fourth quarter. Right back on KAHI.
One play. It was all it took for Luca Collins to go to the house after that NU touchdown and puts the Hillman back up 34-19. Kickoff being brought to you by Auburn Trophies.
You talk about one-hitters. Lavelle Davis with the one-play touchdown, and now Luca Collins helping out. Here's Cormack receiving the ball at the 15, cutting to the far side, 25, 20, 30, out to the 40-yard line, and pushing it past the 40 is Cormack. A late flag flies all the way across the field, and it's met by another flag. Dueling flags approaching each other.
Yeah, could be a late hit out of bounds.
He hit the boundary at the 41-yard line, did Cormack, and I couldn't really see over there as far as the tackle.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, the call against the Hillman.
So tack on another 15 on the back end of that fine return, and that should push it into Hillman territory.
That it should. Friday Night Football brought to you by our friends at Auburn Ford, Keith Thomas State Farm Insurance, Mackey Electric Heating and Air, Mel's Diner, and Roseville Automall sponsoring our scoreboards. Appreciate that. You can find that at KAHI.com. Just click on KAHI Sports. All the area high school football scores that you want available to you there. Join Dave and I this Thursday for the KAHI Coaches Show, Hillman Highlights, an interview with Coach Montoya. And this week we'll be talking with, I believe, Nick Pecoraro from the Auburn Journal. We're going to splice in our different sports writers from around. We had Joe Davidson from the Sac Bee last week, and we'll also talk with Cameron Salerno from the Bee during the course of the season. Wheel it out there to Schlachter, and Schlachter's got some carpet in front of him, and he runs it hard from the 44 down near the 30-yard line. He went down hard, Dave, actually hit the track. That's how fast he was moving out of bounds.
Yeah, I was looking for that flag for a late hit out, but they didn't come.
Let's see where they mark it specifically. The 44 down 2. Oh, and there's a hold on the play, so never mind.
Yeah, we had a fan down to our left yelling, holding on the wide receiver. So where was the holding? Where did that take place? And it looked like they would call the hold out around the 40 and march it back from there. So loss on the play on the swing pass, as that hold was almost immediately after the pass was caught. And now they'll march at 10 the other direction, and instead of being well into Hillman territory, they're pushed all the way back to the Placer 49.
So back to the Hillman 49-yard line. Retreats Baker, 3-step drop. He's going to pull it down, try and run, but the Hillman defense was there and ready for him. He thought he had a lane in front of him. The Hillman defense had other designs. Cardelli and Martinez in on the tackle, and Baker a little slow getting up, as is one of his linemen, who remains on the ground, number 51, Jedi Kulik.
And Jedi using the force to get up off of the turf.
But a bump.
Been waiting all night for that one.
He's here all week, folks. Tip your waitresses. No, he's up, though, and he's okay. He's heading to the minor sideline. And after all that, it ends up being a no-gainer. 5:35 remaining with the clock moving. Placer a 34-19 lead. Nevada Union moving from left to right, trying to rally from a 2-score deficit. Here's quarterback Gabe Baker rolling to the near side and just dropped by his wide receiver out there. JT Conway, one of those ones, Dave, where you feel like you're a little too wide open and the ball just goes through the breadbasket.
And you maybe hear a little thundering of people coming up behind you because they were zeroing in on him to make the big hit, where it was the Hillman defense that time.
I think Logan Wilkins was just saying, please catch that ball. I'd love to light you up. 3rd down and 23 now. Huge yardage needed for the Miners. And Baker back there in the pistol once again. Has time, throws it down there. This time the pass is caught by Conway.
Ridiculous.
And he's going to take it all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So move it from the 49, my goodness, all the way down to the 15, I think. So that's going to be a 34-yard gain and a fresh set of downs for the Miners, who still have hope, trailing by 15 points with just over 5 minutes left.
And how do you let something like that happen on a 3rd and 23?
Baker ready to go again. Handoff to Cormack. It's met by Alcorn and dragged down after a minimal gain. We'll give him 2 on that. 3 we'll call it. We'll go with Dan Wilson, the PA announcer above us. And the clock does continue to move. Alcorn also in on the tackle. 2nd and 7 upcoming from the Hillman 12. Ball in the middle of the field for Gabe Baker and the Nevada Union Miners. Good snap. Baker with time once again. Throws it into the end zone, and too much mustard. Was trying to get it over the head of the defender into the arms of number 11, Swayze. But instead, it soars onto the track and brings up 3rd down. Good coverage there by Logelin as well.
They've been trying to get that back corner of the end zone on both sides of the field. He just hasn't been able to get the touch on it. Each of those passes seems to sail out of the end zone. He's got to drop it more in the bucket if he wants to get it to those receivers.
3rd and 7 from the 12. Baker looking to the left side, has the receiver, and walking into the end zone is Swayze for the touchdown for the Miners. 12-yard catch made, and now 34-25 our score with 4:28 remaining. At this point, down 15, you could choose when you want to go for 2. They can kick it here or go for the 2-pointer. We'll see.
Well, that kickoff return is looking bigger and bigger. It was an 8-point game, and the Hillman got right back on the board to push it out. But here come the Miners behind their big quarterback throwing that ball up. And the biggest play was that huge 29-yarder to JT Conway that picked up that 1st down. Still shaking my head about how you let that guy get open that deep.
They will go for 2.
And Schlechter again.
Schlechter with the ball, rolling to the far side of the field. Throws it into the end zone, and the catch is made by Baker for the 2-point conversion. 34-26, or 27, I should say, our new score. Placer with the lead, 4:28 left in the 4th quarter. Well, we thought maybe this would be a cruise control finish. It's not the case. 7-point margin back in 30 seconds here on KAHI.
4 plays, 56 yards, a minute 57 off the clock. 34-27. What's 27 and 7?
34.
There you go. So they're a touch and a PAT away from tying it up, a touch and a 2 from taking the lead, and it looks like they're setting up for the onside kick. And Joey Montoya calls the timeout. Well, they got the hands crew up front, and this is a critical recovery here. The Hillmen have got to get this football and hopefully grind out 4 minutes or so on the clock and hold on to this lead.
After this stoppage, Nevada Union with 2. So this is a critical play about to come up here if they decide to go for the onside kick. Really, with 4:27 left, you could kick it deep and use your timeouts. That looks like that might be what they end up doing here.
Well, they haven't been able to stop the Hillmen much here in the second half. That Hillman running game really getting it going in half number 2, especially Logelin and Davis.
Holtrup ready to go, and it will be a squib kick. Fielded by the Hillmen, and just taking a knee there for Placer is number 23, and that will be, well, winning time here, Dave. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, partner, and you just got to get those first downs. And it would be nice to do it right here because I've run about out of paper on my stat sheet. I've got 1 drive left, and this could be the one we need.
So Jaden Duncan fell to the Lefevre turf at the 15-yard line. Placer will have it 1st and 10 with a 7-point lead, moving from right to left and looking to close out this football game and pick up their first victory in their second try this season while handing Nevada Union their first loss of the season. The Miners beat Bear River last week.
So this is where you sell out on defense, stack the box, and just play the run?
I would think so. If you're Placer, just run the ball. Hand off to Lavelle. Nice move. Over center to the right guard.
And that's a
push
good
it
pickup
forward.
of 7. That's a great first down gain because that gives you a couple of downs to gain that first down, and it runs clock.
Davis having a nice night. Definitely looking like our player of the game if Placer can hold on for the win. And it will bring up a second down right around 2 to 3 yards as the clock now moves under 4 minutes. Placer, we're so accustomed to them just bursting out of the huddle, but you got to use a little more time here and make Nevada Union use their timeouts, especially if you can pick up first downs. It's run, run, run. That's the strategy here. Hand off to Davis. Speaking of run, 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 he runs for a Hillman first down out to the 28-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain and a fresh set of downs for Placer. Looking to put this bad boy away.
Unofficially, I believe Davis and Logelin have both gone over the 200-yard mark tonight.
Very nice effort out of both of them. And, of course, we'll look forward to seeing Xavier Guerra return when he gets himself healthy as well. He had a monster game last week. Balanced attack. A lot of different guys that can score for you. That's the formula for Placer behind that big, beefy offensive line that needs to do work here to preserve the win. Haswell will hand it off to Davis again. Pretty much the same play. He'll run forward for a gain of 4 yards and bring up a 2nd and 6. So the clock now at 3 minutes remaining. Nevada Union's got 2 timeouts left here. You're basically a first down or 2 away from winning this game, Pard.
Well, if they get a stop here, anywhere within a couple of yards of the line of scrimmage, I think that's when they'll take that next time out. Otherwise, Placer's just going to continue to let that 30 seconds run off each and every time.
Martinez will spell Davis. Logelin's in there as well. Got Prieto at wide receiver. And now Haswell has the play from the sideline. Ready to go are the Hillmen. I'd give it to Martinez.
I thought they motioned.
And they did move a
yeah,
little
Martinez moved pre-snap. And now you get the benefit of the clock being stopped and a 5-yard penalty. So instead of having it be second, maybe third down and short after that play, it's going to push it back to a 2nd down and 10. Maybe 11. And now the question becomes, do you dare to put the ball in the air right here? And I think no. I think you stay with what you've been doing in the second half. They've been doing a great job of running the ball. Clock continues to run.
Yeah, as Scott Christensen points out to my right here, he's filming for the YouTube channel. Literally steam coming off the Hillman. That's sweat. That's not smoke bombs or fireworks. That's actual steam, baby, because it's cold out here.
And now they stop the clock, and I don't know that they knew that clock was running. They may reset this clock. There was a stoppage in play, and the clock just continued to run. And that should have been at about 2:25, I want to say. Maybe
I'm going to
more.
say you're accurate.
I looked up, and I was watching it run down, and I'm thinking, why is the clock running? Maybe as much as 2:30 should go back on that clock. Good 18 seconds could have run off.
Well, it's week 2 for the
And
officials.
you can tell
week
it's
2
chilly
for
out
everybody.
there
And
because
it is
the guys
chilly.
on the defensive side. Now they're going to wind the clock, and they're not going to put any time back. So now it's going to wind at 2:09 and counting.
2nd down and 10 for the Hillmen. Hand off to Parada coming around the near side, looking to use the Martinez block. He
Good
does
block.
for the first down. Big time run there by Gage Parada, picking up 12 yards out to the Hillman 40, and that could just about wrap it up. Nevada Union forced to call their second timeout with 1:58 remaining. We'll take it with them. 34-27, Placer with the lead, $1:58 left in the contest. The ball is at the 39-yard line on the near hash. Hillman taking their time in the huddle. As big Alex Rosales is ready to go. Snap it to Haswell. Martin will hand it off to Martinez. And Martinez just pushes forward for a yard to the 40. And I would guess that the Miners would take their last time out. Maybe not. Okay, well, the clock's still running.
Well, they got a 2nd and 10.
That they do. And
And
Nevada
maybe-
Union's only got one timeout left, so you're in a bad spot here.
And you're going to maybe have to wait one more down. And if you can stop them on another short gainer, then maybe you take the timeout. Have them run 2 more plays, stop them there, and get the ball back somewhere with 30, 35 seconds to go.
Be sure to join us next week. We plan on being out in Sacramento County for Hillman and Rio Linda.
The Hillman and the Knights going at it again.
Always a fun one there. And it's a handoff and blowing it up in the backfield.
And now
are
you
the
take that
Miners.
timeout.
That you do. Number 51, Jedi Kulik, blowing that bad boy up. I believe that was Luca Collins with the carry.
And that carry went nowhere. It lost yards.
And the Miners will take the timeout.
.107 to go. It's going to be 3rd and 12. And is there a little bit of magic in that Placer backfield to pick up this 12 yards, or are they going to end up having to punt the ball away and give it back to Gabe Baker with maybe 50, 60 seconds on the, or 50, 55 seconds on the clock? Big play here.
Hand it off to Logelin. Dillon continuing to push close. Oh, he's going to be just shy. Needed 12, picked up 11. In fact, no, the near side official looks like he's across the line to make. Let's see where they spot it.
And they're going to say first down.
It is a first down. 12-yard gain there for Dylan Logelin. We'll wrap this bad boy up. Placer Hillman are going to move to 1-1 on the season, defeating the Nevada Union Miners 34-27. 1 or 2 victory formations. You see Logelin calling for the crowd to get fired up. Good job. It's great to be back in Auburn, of course, with members of the community that were allowed to attend. It's been a very fun night, and even more fun when the green and gold pick up a victory as they're about to after this knee.
Well, pretty surprising that Nevada Union could not get Logelin down. He had to back his way towards that first down, almost a 360 before he got there. Now a delay of game on the Hillman.
Hey, can't fault him for that.
So that'll stop the clock with 28 seconds, and it'll force them to go to the victory formation, 5 yards the other direction.
Just a heads up, Chris, back at the studio. Dave and I are going to do the post-game wrap as soon as the game ends. Then we'll take a break. If you'd like to continue with post-game discussion, feel free. If not, we'll talk to everybody Thursday night at 7 here on KAHI. Just a victory formation away here for Placer, who are going to pick up the 34-27 win. I think I know who the player of the game is because he really put a statement on this one, and I believe he wears a low number part.
I got a couple guys that I could nominate for that.
All right, that's the final here. 34-27. I will, of course, defer to Dave Rosenthal for the player of the game.
I'm going to split it tonight. It's a double-edged sword, and it's going to go to Lavelle Davis and Dylan Logelin. Both guys go over 200 yards on the night. Davis with that huge 78-yard touchdown run, and Logelin just for the body of work tonight. 9 carries for 138 at the half, and just blew it up in the second half. And, of course, that 12-yard first down run that sealed the deal for the Hillman. So I'm going to split it between Lavelle Davis and Dylan Logelin. And, you know, part and parcel to that, of course, the offensive line. A young offensive line getting it together tonight. The defense doing just enough to keep Gabe Baker out of the end zone a couple times. They got the stops tonight that they needed. They got the offensive performance that they expect, and they picked up the victory.
Final score, Placer Hillman 34, Nevada Union Miners 27. Well done by Logelin, Davis, and the Hillman defense, getting the stops they needed. We'll be with you again Thursday at 7 for the Coaches Show. Next Friday at 7:30 from Rio Linda, as the Hillman will look to move to 2-1 on the season. For our engineering staff on site, Brad Smith and junior engineer Lila, Chris Quant, our producer back at the KAHI radio studios, and my broadcast partner, Dave Rosenthal. I'm Casey Freelove. You've been listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills. Placer 34, Nevada Union 27, our final from a chilly Lefevre Stadium. Have a safe night. We'll talk to y'all real soon. This is Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
Ladies and gentlemen, football is back at Lefevre Stadium. 2021 Placer Hillman football. We'd like to remind the fans on the visiting side at the end of this game that we do need to clear the stands for COVID protocol. So once this game is over, we need all the fans on the visiting side to clear the stands. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Placer High School, welcome to Lefevre Stadium for tonight's home opener between the visiting Miners of Nevada Union High School and your Placer Hillman. Davis at the middle.
Here is first and 10 for Placer at the 33-yard line. Haswell hands it off to Logelin. Good job using those blocks, finding his way to the secondary. Moore bursting into minor territory, continuing to drive those legs. Still moving is Dylan Logelin. So that is going to be a massive gain. 41 yards for number 22 and a first down for Placer. Davidson Logelin behind Haswell, handed off to Dylan, going over right guard. 10-5, pushing his way towards and into the end zone. Put those arms up. Touchdown, Dylan Logelin. 12-yard burst over right guard. Placer on the board. Third and 7, back in the pistol is Baker. 3-step drop, looking over the middle. Tipped. Nice job by the Hillman. Logan Wilkins celebrates a nice tip. That will bring up fourth down. Here's a snap on third down and 7. They're going to try running straight ahead. Nothing doing there. Entire Hillman defense there to beat the runner. Cormac. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Cardelli in on the tackle. Hands it off to Lavelle Davis, going over the far side into the second. Big burst 40 to midfield. To the 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Hillman. Lavelle Davis with a huge burst of 78 yards. Wow. And number 2 looked like he was shot out of the cannon and into the opposing end zone. Baker with time again. This time he's going to keep it. He runs right into the beat of the Hillman defense, the center of the field. Back to the Hillman 49-yard line. Treats Baker, 3-step drop. He's going to pull it down, try and run, but the Hillman defense was there and ready for him. He thought he had a lane in front of him. The Hillman defense had other designs. Cardelli and Martinez in on the tackle, and Baker a little slow getting up after one of his linemen. Haswell with a delayed handoff to Parada. Parada finding some room up the middle, and there is a face mask. Parada still on his feet, puts it down to the 45 and near the 40-yard line. Great run there by Gage Parada, 19 yards. Delayed handoff, and a great job there, running hard by David Martinez. 25-yard gain there, first down for Placer.
This is what Placer football is all about. Run that ball, run it straight ahead, run it to the outside, misdirect it, just power football at its best.
And Placer is ready to rock. Martin Haswell has the play. Hand off to Logelin. He's got room around the near side. 20, 10, and pushing his way inside the 5-yard line. Great hard run there by Dylan Logelin. Collins in there, Lavelle Davis handed off to Dylan Logelin around the near side into the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown, Hillman. Dylan Logelin takes it 8 yards in and puts another TD on the board for Placer. Two receivers either side. Baker spins it around in his arms again.
Got the field in front of him.
Got the field in front of him. He's got room. He decides to pull it down. Davis grabs him though and throws him down. It's going to either be a no-gainer or a loss of 1. Nice job by Lavelle getting up on him. Lavelle having a hell of a night.
No, indeed he is, on both sides of the ball.
Ball is fielded by the Hillman at the 30. Now to the 40 going into midfield.
Watch out.
40.
Watch out. 30. There you go.
Continuing down to the 20, 15, 10. And going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. Hillman, number 28. Nice job there by Placer. Picking up the touchdown.
Luca Collins.
Luca Collins taking it all the way for the touch. Literally steam coming off the Hillman. That's sweat. That's not smoke bombs or fireworks. That's actual steam, baby, because it's cold out here. Happiness is being home on the hill here on KAHI.
Yeah.